Welcome to Dude No Way Live, where we embark on a quest to play the greatest games of all time. I'm your host, Moonchild of Dude No Way, and today we are flexing on them in Marvel Rivals. Last night I was playing a bit off stream, and I was enjoying kind of switching it up, changing up everything that I was doing, every hero that I was playing on a match-to-match basis. What is the problem here? There we go. It's like, there we go. There we go. I gotta buy some more of these shirts. The neck is getting like progressively more stretched out the more I put it on every single day. And it's like one of those things where it's like, I bought this shirt online, so there's no way to go back and get another one easily. Otherwise, I'd already have a bunch more. But then at the same time, you know, I like the shirt, so like I want to be able to wear it, but then it doesn't want to fucking wear correctly. And I'm not gonna walk around with a neck that's all like fucking like one of these, you know what I'm saying? Just dangling around like a pirate shirt, fucking neck going on there. I don't know why it does that. Star just sent me a message that said, "Wash it, silly." Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great advice, chat. You know, if your shit doesn't fit right, just wash it, right? I mean, if only it were that easy. If only I hadn't tried that already. But yeah, dude. So, the name of the game today is going to be play whatever the team needs, because I was having fun playing a bunch of shit last night, and I don't necessarily care if we do super good or if we do like super mediocre, because the main thing is that like I want to have fun playing a bunch of different heroes. There are some that I still have yet to test the changes in Season 2 for, which probably won't be today. Probably do a whole show on those because they got some substantial changes. Certain heroes got substantial changes in Season 2 that I have yet to test out. But that being said, this opens us up to play whatever, depending on what the team needs, and I feel like that'll be pretty fun. Tier, what's going on, dude? We missed you last night. All of a sudden, Tier and I were gaming together off stream last night, and then all of a sudden, this man just disappears in the middle of a match, where I was hard carrying with Hela, and then he never got to see the end of the game, and that made me feel bad. I don't remember what game it was, even, that we were in there together. Or how many games I played after that, either. It was Central Park. It was this one. And Tier, you were in here. You were one of our heroes here, and I don't remember which one replaced you. Oh, this guy. That's right. That's right. You left, right? We already had 2 tanks. We had a Groot and an Emma Frost, right? And after you left, I believe you were playing Cloak and Dagger this game as well. And the best part is that the guy who filled for you came in, saw our team comp. There was only one healer at the time because we hadn't caught up to the fact that you had DC'd yet. Saw our team comp, and the guy thought, you know what this team needs? A fucking Venom, bro. A Venom. Put a Venom in there. Let's get that triple tank, single healer composition going on, because that always works. And that's what he did. As you can see, he came in, died twice. He was literally in the game for like 1 minute, bro. He died twice, got one final hit, and then the game was over. And yeah, dude, this Spider-Man died to my Hela shots like at least 8 times. And he kept trying, too. He kept trying to dive me. He was always coming into view of me. And it was just so easy to kill him. And you know, granted, this is probably because he's probably not a very good Spider-Man. But still, it was so easy to kill him. And he just kept coming back for more. I don't know. I don't get it, bro. Why, if you died 10 times, don't you think you would be more hesitant to walk into a room, dude? Like, to dive a person that consistently has beaten you at every given opportunity? I don't know, man. It just seems weird. I don't play a lot of Hela here on the show because as I played it with Star, and she's my favorite audience. You guys, you know, no offense, but your wife should always be your favorite audience, right? So I was playing with Star, and she was watching, and she was like, watching you play Hela is kind of boring. And I kind of feel the same way about Hawkeye, right? Like, Hawkeye is pretty goddamn boring, because the things that he does don't look flashy. You know, they don't look cool. You know, and with Hela, like, more than Hawkeye, it's like, you can't argue with how effective it is, right? Like, it is obviously good. It obviously is doing work. But it's kind of boring to look at. And, like, so I don't really play Hela on stream because of that. So But I was playing her last night, and I was like, God damn, it's so easy compared to certain other DPS. Like, earlier last night, I was trying to play some Iron Fist and learn his changes here in Season 2 and stuff like that. And limit test with him, specifically limit test, because the limit of what you can do now is different than what I got used to in Season 0, which was like the last time I played Iron Fist with any kind of regularity. I looked at my time on him, by the way, and as of last night, I made it to 1 hour with Iron Fist, which means that I played like 4 games with him in Season 0. Felt like more. I don't know, bro. Felt like more at the time. But yeah, dude. Let me see here. Where are we? Wish I could join. Oh, Mike, what's going on, dude? Wish I could join, but sadly I can't. But do not fret, you have the blessings of the mighty Thor. Anyway, have a good night, one. Yeah, dude, you too. I'm sorry that you can't join us, Mike. We always love having you. Tyr and I were just talking last night about how much of a badass you are on Thor. We were literally just saying that yesterday. So yeah, dude, feels good. Tyr says Spider-Man can't hang with the DNW and the BDT. That's it, dude. That's what it comes down to. Good one? Yeah, I understand. I know what you mean. Look, dude, that shit happens to everybody, especially if you're on a phone. Your phone will be like, let me fill in this sentence for you. And then it will put in the dumbest shit that you didn't want to say. I don't know why phones do this. Autocorrect on a phone is literally infuriating to me. Like, if I made a mistake, let me make the mistake. Let me go back and correct the mistake as my punishment for having made the mistake to begin with. You know? I don't want you to try and fill out my sentence with your predictive text. Like, you're not good at it, phone. You don't know what I'm thinking. As much as you might think you do, phone. You don't know what I'm about to say. I'll be honest, it is never ducking. I can tell you that. Yeah, so anyway, I had fun last night. I had a good time. Tyr, thanks for gaming with me yesterday, dude. It was a good time. And today, we have to dive in. We're going to play a little bit of everything. And I do want to talk about some stuff, because I kept meaning to get to it. And yesterday, we just gamed all day. And, like, I was having a great time with you guys. But at the same time, it's hard to take those games and turn them into video content. So today, excuse me. So today, we're going to start with it. If anybody comes into chat and they are wondering why I'm not interacting with them, it's because we got this thing that we got to do. And this is the most important part of any new season as a content creator, is recreating the video you made last season again. And so today we're going to do that, and I'm going to try and iterate on this and make it a little bit better than I have made it in the past. Traditionally, when I do these tier lists, it takes like an hour and a half or like 2 hours of me talking, and then I go to edit it, and it takes like 5 hours of editing, and then at the end of it, nobody fucking watches it, and I spent a whole day working on this shit for no reason, right? So today, we're going to try it a little bit differently, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially limit myself to like 1 minute of talking, so that I can have an easier time editing this later. And hopefully that works. And if it doesn't work, and it's still shitty, well then at least I'm trying to continue to iterate on the process. You know what I mean? You gotta go, in content creation, there's this rule that you have where everything that you do is like 1% better than the last time that you did it. So if you made a shitty product last time, you could still make a shitty product this time, but now it'll be 1% less shitty. Or shittier, depending on which way you're trying to go with it, right? So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna try and make this 1% less shitty than last season's tier list, and we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Tyr says Wanda is going S with the Strange team up, or is this no team ups? I'm gonna talk about team ups, but I don't think Wanda is S tier. I'm not sure that she can ever be an S tier pick without breaking the balance of the game. She's a lot better now than she was, but she doesn't make it into, even with Strange team up, doesn't make it into the best of the best DPS heroes in the game. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm gonna start this just like I'm doing a YouTube video for the edit, and if anybody comes into chat and they need to talk or whatever, they're talking to me, they're wondering why, I will address you guys over on this screen so that when I go to edit this shit, I can take this part out. Or leave it in because I said something funny. I don't know. Who knows, bro? Maybe I break the mold and actually do something that that matters, you know? Otherwise, I'm just gonna be right here I'm gonna be doing my thing. We're gonna talk about each hero, and yeah, so that's how it's gonna go. I just wanna quickly write something down real quick and put it directly in front of me. Give me 1 second here. I know this is unprofessional, but this is something that I need to remember as I'm going through this tier list, and I forgot to write it down earlier. So I'm going to put it right in front of me so that I can keep looking at it over and over again throughout this tier list. Hello. There it is. There we go. All right. The sun is out. And the guns are out as well. No, but the sun is out. It's super, super bright and very hot in here. As a matter of fact, it's like 80 degrees in here almost. Like, I can't actually see the thermostat from here. But if it's 73 outside, that means it's like 78 in here. Which is not great, you know? Not great. Let's see here. We got, this... Okay, I'm just gonna set this right here so that I don't forget, because otherwise I will forget. Alright, so. You guys ready? Everybody ready? Let me address you guys one more time before I start doing this, because it shouldn't take too long, but you don't think so? Makes it more easy to see what you need to cut out. Yes, it does. Yeah, going into full screen mode makes it easier because, like, it's very obvious visually where I am talking to chat, as opposed to when I'm trying to do it like this and then try to find the few moments where I talk to you guys to take them out so that the people who are watching it on the replay can feel like this is a made for a YouTube video. It's way easier to do it from the full screen mode, because then I'll be like, hey, there's my big dumb face. Better cut this part out, right? So that's my plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. Again, 1% less shitty, and hopefully it'll be a good time. So, here we go. So, I've been wanting to do this for a few days now. This is your Season 2 tier list in Marvel Rivals. We're going to start with Adam Warlock. In Season 2, Adam Warlock is, like B tier. He's not terrible, but he's basically terrible. Compared to all of the other support in the game, he's probably always going to be, like, generally the worst support in the game. The support role is pretty strong across the board, and Adam Warlock does not have an ultimate, effectively, right? So, the ultimate for Adam Warlock is pretty weak compared to the Circle of Healing type ultimates for the rest of the support cast. His Soul Bond got nerfed here in Season 2, and because of that, the main thing that made him good is now weaker than it was before. He was already kind of ass in Season 1.5, and he remains ass here in Season 2. I can't rate him any higher than B, although I know at the highest tier of play, where people can aim, you're going to see Adam Warlock be a lot better. That being said, for most people across the board, most of the time when you get an Adam Warlock, you're going to want to have two other supports with you, two of the regular supports, to make sure that you don't, like, lose, basically. Because his healing output is decent, but the rest of his kit is kind of trash, and his ability to sustain during heavy damage cycles is now less effective than it was before. So, Adam Warlock is B tier. That's as high as I can put him, dude. Realistically, I don't think this hero is very good, and I don't know that that's really going to change unless they completely revamp his kit. I just don't see it, man. Black Panther is C tier. Black Panther is not bad. He is not good. He is very, very mediocre. He puts out a very mediocre amount of damage, and if your supports are doing a good job of keeping everybody kind of topped up, then he won't be able to kill you fast enough for it to be a problem. This requires supports that are paying attention, and also requires supports that can defend themselves or stay alive through a dive, or are just supporting each other. But Black Panther does not deal enough burst damage to really be a scary hero in this meta. He didn't get, like, really changed, but that being said, the meta around him has shifted, and supports are incredibly strong. Tanks are pretty strong across the board, and Black Panther just doesn't do it, bro. So in Season 2, I think Black Panther is C tier, and I'm not sure how you bring him up without making him possibly busted. You know, very small damage changes, I think, could happen to this character, and I think that he would be in a better place. Black Widow is also C tier in Season 2. I think that she is still very decent in terms of, if you have really good aim, she can do a lot of work. you can utilize the team up with Mantis and the team up, not necessarily the team up, but the combo with the damage amp from Mantis or the damage amp from Storm, and you can use that to get headshots with Black Widow and one-hit people who are full health. But plot twist, if you just shoot people who are not full health, you will always one-hit them. Without the team up, without the damage amp. So, you know, if you guys aren't doing that already, and you're playing Black Widow, even if you only play her a little bit, make sure that you shoot people that are not full health, bro, and then you won't have to worry about needing the damage amp on your team. She's not very good. She's better than she was at the beginning of the game. Her ultimate is still pretty decent. The weaken effect that it gives does allow her to one-hit. It also slows people down pretty significantly, which allows her to get headshots a little bit easier, and also forces them to fight your team a little bit more often, because as they stand in the plasma, they can't run away from it. So, but again, she's not a very good hero, and you would be better off basically picking most of the other heroes in the game. Hulk is the top of A tier, the absolute top. He is still a really good hero. He's arguably better now that the team up has changed from Doctor Strange to Namor, because the team up with Doctor Strange, it gave him a little bit, but the team up with Namor, the Gamma Squid, is actually pretty goddamn strong. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Hulk in Season 2 is A tier because the other tanks are just a little bit better than him for the most part, and there's a few that are weaker, and we'll talk about those, but Hulk in general is just really fucking solid, dude. Just really solid. Great character. Still got all your health. Still got all your health bars. You know, your Bruce Banner form, your regular Hulk form, your Monster Hulk form. You got your Gamma Shield, which can absorb tons of damage. You know, he can get in, he can brawl it out, and then he can get out with the use of his jump ability. And that can only really be countered by certain heroes that can force him into positions where his jump ability is useless. I'm looking at you, Spider-Man, who could pull Hulk off the map. And then it doesn't matter if you had a fully charged jump or not. You can't jump while you're in the air. So Hulk just drops like a stone to his death. But just in general, one of the best tanks in the game. Captain America Season 2 is bottom of A tier. This tank is slept on, dude. Still slept on. Very, very powerful in terms of the amount of stall he can do. In terms of the amount of sustain that he has, he is very good. He can live for a really long time. He can get in, he can get out. He's got great movement abilities. You know, a forward dash as well as a, like, leap that is actually very powerful as well, and you can kind of choose your direction a little bit easier with the leap as opposed to the shield bash. Shield bash does give you a decent amount of movement, but the leap itself is actually pretty goddamn strong. And then beyond that, his ultimate is not like a lot of other tank ultimates because it is like a support ult, basically. It doesn't show up on the healing numbers, but it generates a ton of bonus health similar to Rocket Raccoon's ult, and as long as you are near that Captain America and reaping the benefits of that bonus health, that is effectively a third support ultimate, and you can utilize Captain America in a team comp with Adam Warlock to kind of shore in the gap, to fill in the hole of not having that support ultimate from Adam Warlock, and he can actually be pretty good there. The Stall Master Extraordinaire is basically Captain America's job, but he punches like he's wearing sock and boppers, bro. His damage is weak as fuck, and until they buff his damage, like, significantly, I don't think we can realistically take this character too seriously. But as far as tanks go, he is pretty good. Good at harassing, good at movement, good at being on cart and stalling, but not great at any of those, you know? So, anyway, Cloak and Dagger is the absolute top of A tier. Better than Hulk, better than Captain America. A lot of people will tell you that Cloak and Dagger is really, really low tier character. That is factually incorrect. You are objectively wrong if you think that Cloak and Dagger is a bad support. Her ultimate got buffed here in Season 2 to where it lasts a little bit longer. Now all of her dashes, all 4 of them, will last until the final dash disappears after 5 seconds of having it being used. The dashes themselves are not as powerful as they were in the beginning of the game because they can't be stacked anymore, but they're still more healing than the rest of the support ults, and on par with the best of the best. And Cloak and Dagger's kit as well is just really good. Like, the ability to survive through dive is really strong. Her healing output is really high, and while she doesn't have the one-shot capability of a Sue Storm or the length of ultimate, the duration of ultimate of a Luna Snow, that only sets her behind a little bit because the rest of her kit is so powerful. And being able to weaken your enemies en masse, you know, the big darkness wall is huge for making a difference in your game, especially if you have characters that have high damage, like super high burst damage, because the weaken effect can actually change their threshold for what is a kill. And I'm talking about your Black Widows. Hawkeye with body shots against certain characters can basically one-hit them with a body shot. Your Hela can one body, one head with the weaken effect on certain characters. It's really good. She's really strong, and she's definitely not a low-tier pick like you'll see a lot. That being said, Doctor Strange here in Season 2, it's like a B-tier tank, and that hurts me to say because this is the character I have the most hours on in the game. I love this character. I love everything about this character, and unfortunately, he's just not very good right now. The nerfs to him have finally added up to a point where they have become impactful, and he has gotten repeatedly nerfed season over season, over mid-season, and then now again in Season 2, and he, on his own, is not very good. But when you combine him with Wanda, he goes up to the bottom of A tier, above Captain America, but that is only with the team up and only because it kind of fills in the nerf that he most recently received here in Season 2. On his own, as like a single character, Doctor Strange is not going to be that great, especially compared to some of the other tanks, which are just more powerful. Just across the board, there are other options that are simply better, and you would be better off using those. Hurts me to say, dude. I love you, Doctor Strange. I hope you come back into the meta. You do everything that I like a tank to do, but you're just a little bit too weak right now. Groot, our first S tier pick. Groot is the best tank in the entire game. He is. It's not even close. Like the other tanks are very powerful. Groot has the most damage soaking capability. He can control the fight by forcing you to be in the places he wants you to be. And the only real downside to this character is if he can be displaced by certain characters that can move him from the place that he wants to be. And that is less frequent now, especially with other characters being meta. You're going to see far less Wolverines, and because of that, Groot becomes even better than he was. He's got basically the best tank ultimate in the game, ridiculously high damage output, and in Season 2, you cannot go wrong with playing Groot ever. Like, he's just super good, dude. He's stupidly strong, and we love to see him. You love to see him in any of your games. He ult combos really well. His damage output is crazy. His ability to sustain on his own is crazy. The amount of damage he soaks up is far and away the best out of all of the tanks in the game. He's like 2 other tanks in terms of how much damage he actually soaks, and again, the damage output on this character is so high compared to the other tanks that, like, if they're not shooting the walls, you just dumpster everybody as Groot, and it feels great. Hawkeye is B tier. Hawkeye is slightly above Black Widow because his one-shot can happen on its own without the need for an additional character to help him out. But that being said, Hawkeye in general is pretty mediocre. His ability to one-hit people is the thing that makes him B tier. Everything else about his kit is like C or D tier. His ultimate is kind of booty cheeks. There is a certain combo that you could do with his ultimate that makes it a little bit more powerful, but you can only do that either at the very start or like for a very small amount of time within his ult, and then aside from that, you can basically just spam arrows into after images and sometimes get some value out of that. The character itself, if he didn't have the ability to one-hit people, would be, like, fucking garbage, dude. Like, he's just so bad otherwise, right? His deflect parry window is too short of a window to actually make use of realistically. His knockback effect that he has on other people, which is shift here on PC. I don't know what it is on console. I'm sorry, I don't play with a controller. But his knockback effect is booty cheeks and barely moves them at all. His arrow that knocks people out of the sky and, like, slows people down, the Sonic arrow, like, is pretty ass as well. And the character overall is not that good. So he can be a hard carry, but most of the time he's not going to be a hard carry, and Hawkeye is just going to be kind of okay. Hela is our second S tier character in the game here. In Season 2, Hela is largely unchanged. Across the board, she is just the best DPS that you could possibly pick. She is the best DPS in Marvel Rivals. Still, she was in Season 1.5. She still is in Season 2. And with certain other characters having been moved down in the meta, she is arguably even better now than she was before. And as certain characters have moved to the top of the meta, which I'll talk about in a little bit, she is even good at killing them, and there's just no stopping this bitch, dude. She's crazy. She's crazy. Her damage output is ridiculous. If you're accurate with her, you just kill everything. thing, and most of the time she doesn't get countered. Every now and then you'll get caught with your pants down and you'll get killed, but most of the time her escape ability, even with its nerfed duration, or excuse me, its nerfed cooldown, which its cooldown got nerfed here in Season 2 very slightly, even with that, she still usually has an escape tool available to her when she does get dove, or when, you know, shit starts getting hairy and she can get out of there and then live to fight another day. She's really good, stupidly good, and the best DPS in the game. Iron Fist. Iron Fist is like... I'm gonna put him at the top of A tier, because I feel like S tier is a stretch, but he is very, very good. He is incredibly strong, arguably S tier. Arguably S tier in Season 2. I think that he is a better version of Wolverine than actually Wolverine. He is the best tank buster in the game now by a long shot. It's not even close, because he doesn't have to rely as heavily on his abilities to be able to do his job, right? Like, his tank busting ability is pretty strong on its own, and then his fast punch is actually pretty good as well. The ability to get in and out is better now than it was before. His cooldowns got kind of rebalanced so that he can engage a little bit more effectively. He's really good. He's really strong right now. Pretty goddamn solid of a character overall. And his ability to fight squishies, while it isn't as good as it was in the beginning of the game, it's still pretty decent, and he can be a menace if you know how to engage with him properly, and that is something that I am going to learn here over the next season a little bit more. I'm going to play this character just a little bit more than Never, and then we'll have some fun with that as well. I think he's good. I think he's pretty good. I've seen a lot of really good Iron Fist this season compared to last season's. It's just harder to counter him than it ever has been, and that's good. That's good for him, bad for the rest of us, but you know how it goes. Iron Man. One of my favorite characters in the game is like C tier, above Black Widow, but below Black Panther. Iron Man is one of the worst heroes in Marvel Rivals. Just flat out, he is like one of the worst DPS characters in the game. That being said, he's just hard countered, bro. He's hard countered by a lot of other characters. You don't really see him at the highest levels of play. You basically never see Iron Man because there are just people that kill him super duper easily. He did get his hitbox reduced in size very slightly, and that does help him survive a little bit longer. But is that enough to really put him in the meta? I mean, not really, right? Like, there are other characters that kind of do what he does already without the extreme danger of, I'm flying in the sky, my healers probably won't look at me, and you're gonna easily be able to take me out. In Season 2, I think he's maybe a little bit more difficult to kill than he was before, but that doesn't raise him up, and with the rest of the meta kind of shifting around, it actually kind of lowers him down a little bit. He kind of sucks right now. The Gamma team up with Hulk is still pretty strong, but Iron Man on his own is now almost as good, basically just as good as he would be with the Gamma team up. It's very slight change in how much actual damage goes up based on his Gamma team up. I want to say it's like 10 damage per second, and that's just not enough to raise him in the meta, and you're just gonna get killed a lot. If you play Iron Man, I promise you, because I play Iron Man, you're just gonna get killed a lot, bro. It's just gonna wind up with you getting frustrated and swapping to a different hero. There are just so many heroes that counter him super hard. I'm gonna come over here real quick. Okay, we've got Iron Fist is A if you know how to play him right. I think he's S if you know how to play him right. But he's like A for the most part. Like, he is that good. He really is that good. But you have to know how to engage and disengage properly. And until I make it to that point, I can't confidently say he's S tier. And I think for most people who play Iron Fist, I don't think he'll make it to S tier. You know, I don't think most people will learn the character to a high enough degree to make it like, you know, one of the best DPS in the game. But I do think that he has the potential to be one of the best DPS in the game. Iron Man is top of B tier, I think. He's just not as good as these other characters. He's not easily able to do what he does without getting countered. And that's the problem. You just get killed. And you can't really do anything about it, you know? The bonus health that he got at this, for the armor overdrive ability is good, but the problem with the bonus health is that it doesn't activate until after the animation of actually powering up, right? So if it activated immediately, I could argue that he would be in B tier, because you could use that when getting engaged on to save yourself, and then use your armor overdrive's extra damage to kill the person that's engaging on you. But what ends up happening right now is that you get engaged on, and you press armor overdrive, and the bonus health doesn't activate in time, so you're stuck in this animation of powering up this, right? And then you die. And then you just die. So you have to activate it preemptively. And there are other characters that just already kind of do what he does, but arguably better. They put out more damage than him. So he had good crowd control, but hard countered by any aim character. He doesn't have crowd control. Crowd control would be like a stun or like a sleep or like an incapacitate effect or something like that. Sleep is kind of basically the same thing as an incapacitate, where it breaks if they take damage, right? But the Iron Man doesn't have any of that. But what he does have is decent AoE damage, decent burst damage, but not as good as like a Hela, not as good as like obviously like one of the sniper characters, and like there are just better choices. But yeah, I wanted to address that real quick because I saw a bunch of messages came up, so I wanted to see what was going on. Jeff the Landshark is the top of B tier. Jeff is a pretty good DPS character. Pretty shitty support, just in general. He does not do good on support. As far as, like, if you have a double healer comp, and Jeff is one of those two healers, and he decides he wants to go off on a wild flank, which is where Jeff is, like, most impactful, you have to be good at that playstyle to make it work. And then, B, if you're not back there harassing people with Jeff the Landshark, and you're playing him like a regular support character, you should have just played somebody else. Jeff in Season 2 has not really received any changes. He's pretty good. He has some good healing, good self-healing, incredible self-sustain, good movement, all of that shit. His damage output is pretty okay, but he is like a terrible, terrible second support, and his ultimate is very situational. It's map dependent. If you can't shoot somebody off a map with his ultimate, then Jeff the Landshark is basically useless, and like he is hard to kill, but he's also, similarly to Black Panther, not offensively powerful enough to actually be scary, and because of that, I don't think there's really ever a place to bring Jeff, except for on the specific maps where there is always a cliff right next to you, right? Aside from those maps, leave Jeff alone. He's just not it, dude. Loki is an S tier pick. He is nerfed here in Season 2, and that makes his healing output a little bit less than it was before. His runes got a 5-second cooldown nerf, and that does impact not only his survivability when getting dove, but his ability to sustain the team as well, and that can be very difficult. And that nerf can be impactful, but it's also not so bad compared to like an Adam Warlock, where it's like Adam Warlock getting his soul bond nerfed compared to Loki getting his rune nerf is not quite as bad, because Loki's healing output is still pretty strong. He doesn't have his healing attached to charges, which recharge every 6 seconds. The amount of healing that Loki can put out is still very high, and he could still copy the best ultimate in the game, or the best ultimates depending on who is on his team and on the other team. His damage output is pretty good. His ability to sustain through dive is pretty solid. His ability to get away when getting dove is also pretty good. And the character overall is just really strong. And I hope he stays this way, because he's also the highest skill ceiling character in the game. Not even close. Not even a little bit close. Loki is the highest skill ceiling character in the game, and he's crazy strong. Luna Snow in Season 2 is still S tier. How is she still S tier? Nobody fucking knows, bro. Nobody understands why this character can't catch a nerf. What are they so afraid of? Why can't we balance this character? Why? Nobody knows, bro. The Marvel Rivals dev team really need to get on this shit. It has been 6 months almost since the game released. It's been 5 months at the time of this recording, and change, right? But the character is too strong. She's been too strong. She remains too strong. The ultimate lasts too long. Fix the ultimate and the character will be more balanced overall. Reduce her ultimate duration down to an 8-second duration like the rest of the support ults, and we'll be good to go. But as of right now, in Season 2, with her 12-second ultimate and Loki being able to copy her and also utilize a 12-second Luna Snow ultimate, she's just ridiculous. Please, for the love of God, balance this character. Magic in Season 2 is like bottom of A tier. She's pretty alright. She's decent. She's not the best. And I know she's one of the highest win rate characters in the game. That is because not a lot of people know how to stop her. She's really not that crazy. She's not that hard to kill. She's not that difficult to take out or to stop from being effective. And she also kind of depends on your tanks. If your tanks are shitty, then Magik is also going to be shitty. She is a win more character overall, and that remains true in Season 2. If you are already going to win the game, you will win the game even harder because you have a Magik. If you are already going to lose the game, she is not the difference maker to be able to win the game for you. She's not a carry hero for most levels of play in the game. So I still think she's really good. Ultimate is very fair. Probably one of the most fair ultimates in the entire game, because when you pop it, you can pop off, or if the enemy team is smart and focus fires you, you will just die. And that makes it incredibly fair. It's not just an insta-gib like certain other characters with their ultimates. It's not a snowball effect that just keeps going and going and going like old Bucky was, and we'll talk about Bucky here in just a bit. But Magik is pretty strong, and I think that if you like playing her, keep playing her. But don't expect to win the games that you are going to lose, because that's just not going to happen. Magneto. Magneto is the S tier pick behind Groot. Probably, I would say, like, the third best tank in the game. And I'm gonna rearrange this S tier a little bit here to make it more realistic with who is the best. Let's just go. I think that looks good to me right there. The thing about Magneto is that he kind of does everything that Doctor Strange does, but now just a little bit better than he did before. He has the shield, his own personal shield, as well as a bubble that he can give to teammates. Both of those are pretty strong. His ability to soak damage is pretty decent. His one-hit combo is pretty strong with the left click, right click, left click. In Season 2, he's basically the same as he was before, although he lost the team up with Wanda, which makes him slightly worse. But he did gain the team up with Emma Frost, which gives him a new ability and a new button to press, which increases his ability to tank a little bit, because the kind of illusory version of Magneto is actually pretty decent. It's hard to tell the difference in the heat of battle, which one is the illusion and which one is the actual Magneto, so that can soak up a decent amount of damage as well, and it also primary fires just like he does, so he's pretty strong. He's one of the best tanks in the entire game. Behind Groot, definitely behind Groot, but still one of the best main tanks ever. Really good. Mantis is the, kind of the top of A tier. I'm gonna put her right there. I think that Mantis is one of the best supports in the game. Her headshot damage is pretty strong, especially now in Season 2. She got a buff where she can actually stack leaves on top of each other. So instead of having the 8-second duration for the heal over time, if you double leaf somebody, they will have a 16-second heal, which actually becomes pretty impactful the more leaves that you are generating, because you can stack it, you can double stack it on somebody, and then they can go off into Narnia and go do whatever they need to do, like a flanking character, or like even a tank that wants to go, and you need to stay over here for this fight, but the tank wants to go over there and do something else. You can double stack the leaves on them, and that's pretty strong. Her damage output is still pretty good. Her stun is still pretty strong. That's an incapacitate effect like I was talking about earlier, because they wake up after they take a certain amount of damage. But the character's ultimate is the most balanced, basically, of all the ults in the game. Not as strong as the support that are above her, but still pretty goddamn strong. Still pretty good. I never get mad about having a Mantis on my team, but I would rather see a couple of other supports really good into the Adam Warlock res comp, though. If you have Adam with a Mantis, as well as another support, and then you're also running a Star-Lord, the res comp is still probably the best team up in the entire game when it's full. When it's like Adam and just Mantis, or like Adam and just Star-Lord, like the res comp is just okay then. But when it's all of the characters being able to make use of this at the same time, that's when it gets pretty goddamn good. And Mantis is decent, but not the best. Still better than Jeff and Adam, though. Excuse me, I have an itch on my mustache. All right, Moon Knight is like the bottom of C tier. I'm gonna put, damn bro, how the mighty have fallen. All right, Moon Knight, you're going to the bottom of C tier. I think Moon Knight is like the worst DPS in the game right now, and this might be a hot take. Some people might get mad at this. I think Moon Knight was already really bad in Season 1.5. I think he was really bad in Season 1. His ability to do things is fucking trash, bro. This character sucks. This character has sucked the whole time. And the only thing that made him good was that his ultimate could one-hit through support ults. Now you can't even combo with Groot to get the same value that you did before. The ultimate has gotten nerfed, and it is not good. It's just not good. His ability to duel other characters is nothing. He never was good, and he's going to remain not good. And I think he needs to remain not good. This is a character who throws his primary fire at the ground or at a wall instead of actually fighting the person he's fighting against. He is not rewarded for actually engaging with the person who is engaging with him. And I think that needs to change about his kit. We can buff his damage against other people and lower his damage when ricocheting off of an Ankh. And I think in doing that, we'll be able to raise Moon Knight up to like the B tier. But right now, Goon Knight is the worst, bro. He's fucking terrible. He sucks balls. And I would rather see a Black Widow than see a Goon Knight. He's just bad. He's just bad. You don't even see him anymore. He's so bad that he disappeared like a father who went out for a gallon of milk, bro. Like, this guy went out for a pack of cigarettes in the middle of season 1.5, and I have not seen him since. Where are the Moon Knights? They're in the respawn screen, bro, because their character sucks. Alright. Namor is... oof. Tough one. Tough one. Namor is basically still S tier, but the loss of the team up with Luna Snow actually does hurt him very slightly. So, the Gamma Squid is really strong. Really, really strong. So the team up with Hulk is really good. But that slow effect was so powerful at fighting divers that it makes him, like, objectively worse than he was in Season 1.5. So, because of that, I think we have to move... It's really tough, right? Because Namor is basically an S-tier DPS in all aspects of the game. The only reason that I would move him down is because the Gamma Squid is not as strong as the Freeze Squid was. And it's like, and it's close, too. Like, the Gamma Squid is really powerful in terms of raw damage output, but it's missing out on that small amount of crowd control. And because of that, I think in Season 2, he's basically A-tier, but I'm going to put him in S-tier because, like, he really is still that strong. Like, he really didn't get nerfed as a character. His team up got nerfed, and because of that, like, he is like worse than he was, but still S tier in terms of like damage output. His headshot damage is crazy, his auto damage is crazy, his ability to live through shit is nuts because he has the immunity ability that not only makes him immune, but also puts him up into the sky and puts a big ball around him, so he's real easy to see, as opposed to like an Iron Man. Like, you see when Namor goes up in the sky and surrounds himself in the water globe. You know what I mean? And because of that, he almost always catches a heal before that immunity ability is over. And in addition to that, his damage output with his ultimate is now the new combo with Groot. Oh, I messed it up. There we go. The new combo with Groot is Groot and Namor, as opposed to in Season 1 and Season 1.5, it was Groot and Moon Knight, and then everybody figured out that Moon Knight wasn't good anymore, and so we stopped using that character. But, like, that's how it goes, bro. Namor is the new combo because everybody that is within the circle of Groot's ultimate is now the inner circle of the whale. Basically, everything gets one hit there. And especially if you have, like, the damage amp going on from Rocket, or even the damage amp going on from Luna's ult, you just dumpster everything. And Namor is still just ridiculous, bro. He's super good. Super fucking good. Penny Parker in Season 2 is, like, the top of C tier. I'm gonna say she's better than Black Panther. She can now crit with her primary fire, which is a decent buff. The character is, just in general, it has the best stun in the entire game. Penny Parker's stun, her crowd control ability, is the best in the entire game, bar none. Nobody even comes close. The stun that she has is on such a short cooldown and works so effectively at range, mind you, without having to get close to the target. You can actually crowd control basically anything at any moment as long as you're accurate enough to hit them. But that being said, as far as damage taken, she doesn't soak damage very well. She does have decent healing over time, and you could stack the healing over time by putting multiple webs down on top of each other. That actually stacks how much healing over time you get, but the healing over time is not good enough to make her a better tank. It doesn't make her better at tanking, necessarily, as much as it just lets her live a little tiny bit longer. It's not that crazy, right? But in terms of Vanguards, like, somebody has to be the worst tank. All of the tanks are pretty goddamn good, but Penny Parker is just, like, the worst at tanking. The best at crowd control, the worst at actually tanking. So I do think she's pretty alright character. I never want to see her ever, because there are other tanks that do everything that she does, but better. Her burst damage is pretty high, so arguably, like, if you needed a really high burst damage comp for whatever reason, and you could somehow bait them into the Penny Parker mines, that part's pretty good. But aside from that, kind of ass, and not the best tank by a long shot. She does have some redeeming qualities, though. Psylocke is like A tier, very, very high in A tier. She is, the only bad part about Psylocke is her ultimate. And the fact that Loki is an S tier pick, and the fact that her ultimate will prioritize hitting Loki clones while inside of the slash animation, that part is not great. But that being said, the rest of her kit is really good. Her combo is really strong. Her bonus health is really good. Mobility is insane. Her ability to go invisible is really nice for positioning and being in the place you need to be. She does a lot of really good stuff. Her damage output is really high. But her she just kind of falls short a little bit in the ultimate department. And that's why she is only A tier and not quite S tier. Very good, though. Very good overall. Punisher is like B tier. Punisher with the team up with Rocket Raccoon, who is like one of the most popular support in the entire game right now. That makes him like higher in B tier, but not A tier. Still pretty alright, but not great. I'm gonna put him below Doctor Strange. Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, no, I'm gonna put him below Doctor Strange. He's still good, still decent, right? Still an alright character, does decent damage. It's kind of like Soldier from Overwatch. He does decent damage over time, but like it's just overshadowed by other characters. Everything that he does basically is done by someone else, but a little bit better, except for arguably his shotgun, which is very, very good at dispatching certain enemies. You can really fuck an Iron Fist who dives you as a Punisher. If you have the shotgun out, you can literally just dumpster his entire health in like 2 hits, but that requires you to hit the headshot while Iron Fist's character model is doing one of these fucking things, right? Which makes it really hard to hit a headshot on the guy. And because of that, like, he's just not that good, man. He's alright. He's not bad. The damage amp from Rocket Raccoon was the thing that made his ultimate really strong prior to this. And now he can live a little bit longer because of the extra health that it gets, that it generates. But the damage that he puts out is now less because the damage amp got nerfed from 40% down to 25%. So his ultimate is less deadly than it was before. And, like, he kind of requires a rocket to even be worth picking in the first place, you know? So, Punisher in Season 2 is just middle of the road. Middle of the pack, and I think that's fine. Rocket Raccoon is an S tier pick. S tier, I'm going to put him right here. Rocket Raccoon is basically the best support in the entire game right now. The Luna Snow ultimate is the only thing that makes her as good as she is. Rocket's healing got changed, so it gives you a little burst of healing now. People are saying that it's bugged, as far as I can tell, and I've done a fair bit of testing on this. It doesn't look bugged to me, but maybe it is. Who knows? As of right now, though, he is really good, really strong. His mobility got nerfed very slightly, and that makes it more difficult for him to live through getting dove on over and over again. But if you're good at playing Rocket, trust me, dude, if you're good at playing Rocket, you still live forever. I did a hardcore Marvel Rivals stream a couple of weeks ago, maybe like a week or 2 ago, and I think I died like 50% of the games that I played as Rocket. I live so much. I live... Excuse me. The dog is very excited. What's going on here? Hang on 1 second, chat. Give me 1 sec, guys. I gotta get out of my chair for a second. My kid needs something. She's on spring break right now. Okay, So, that was the dog. That was the dog barking super loud because my kid decided to come up the steps. Anyway, he's just an annoying ult battery for supports. New bait character for sure. Snark, what's going on, bro? It's good to see you, man. I miss you. We missed you here in the Rivals talks. I haven't seen you in a while. How was Monster Hunter? Did you love it? Was it amazing? And I agree. Just an ult battery for supports. I feel the exact same way about it. Like, it's not that he's bad. He's just kind of okay. Yeah, so anyhow, Snark, are you still here? Snark is over on Twitch, by the way. For those of you who are just joining us, if you are here on Twitch, I want to say thank you very much. Don't forget that you can watch all of our streams live over on the Dude No Way Live channel over on YouTube. I can't tell based on these numbers whether or not Snark is here or not here right now. I know he responded to me earlier, but regardless, I just wanted to say hello and make sure that I am taking the time to interact with you guys. I got to do that here in the full screen so that I can edit this out in a little while. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the tier list here, and we're going to keep it going from there. Nope. Yup. So anyway. Rocket Raccoon is insane. He is insanely good. His BRB beacon is still just as good as it was. His healing is arguably just as good, if not even better than it was before, because the burst healing is like impactful in a way that the healing over time kind of had trouble keeping you alive through. His ultimate is now better than it's ever been, and kind of the only bad part about Rocket is that he got his mobility nerfed a little bit, and that is tough, but other than that, I think he's pretty strong. Pretty goddamn good, and I would say, if you're not playing Rocket this season, you might be doing your team a disservice, you know? Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is, man, tough one. Right here. She's not bad. She's not bad. She does pretty good work right now. She has gotten a few buffs to her ultimate over time that have made her a little bit better. In Season 2, she has gotten her damage from her primary fire reworked so that it no longer deals percentage damage and now deals a flat 80 damage per second, no matter whether you're fighting a tank or whether you're fighting a healer. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 80 damage per second. But the ultimate itself is still very hard to use. The ultimate, when you press it, now gives you 100 bonus health, which does help you survive. And in Season 2, she also got a further balance change to the ult, which allows her to move faster while pressing the ultimate for the first 1.5 seconds, which can allow her to reposition quickly to the spot that she wants to go, and hopefully live through the remaining 2.5 seconds for a full 3.5 second activation on her ultimate going off. I still think that's too long, and I do think that could be reduced slightly, and I think that we would all be fine. Like, if you brought it down to a 3-second duration or activation period, I think that would be fine. I don't think anybody would really be that upset about that. But the character's just okay. With the team up with Strange, she is like the bottom of A tier. The team up with Strange is actually pretty strong. Changes her right click to be like an auto fire, similar to her primary fire, but with a projectile instead of with the beam. And because of that, the team up is actually pretty good. The damage it puts out is pretty decent, but she's not that good. And she needs to remain not that good. A character like this cannot be hard meta, because once you remove the other character's value for aiming, then you make the game worse overall. Objectively, the game is better when a character like Scarlet Witch never makes it to the top of the meta. Spider-Man is an A tier pick. I'm gonna say Spider-Man is actually, like, right up here. This character just keeps getting buffed, dude. He just keeps getting buffed. He's, like, really, really good at a lot of things. His mobility is the best in the entire game, bar none. No one is better at moving than Spider-Man. He gets in, he gets out, he gets from here to there super fast. His rollouts are ridiculous. His ability to pull people off the map and one-hit them is really good. He can do it so quickly that a lot of times you don't even get a chance to react. His damage combo is still pretty strong, just as strong as it was. His uppercut has a ridiculously huge 5-meter range, which can hit people that aren't even on the screen. You don't even know that you're hitting them, and you will kill them sometimes. It's actually crazy, and the character does not require that much from you in terms of what you need to do to be good enough to get kills with it. Like, there's a lot that you can do. Skill ceiling very high, but value, like, the value floor is kind of in the middle there. A lot of people will say, like, but you have to do so much on Spider-Man compared to other characters. No, you don't. No, you don't, bro. No, you fucking don't. All right, dude, you hit 2 right clicks, and then you press 1 button, and then you press another button, and congratulations, the 250 HP target is dead. All you gotta do is be good enough to hit 2 right clicks, and then swing out of there before it's over. Like, before you die. It's not that hard. It's really not. There are certain things that he can do that are pretty difficult to pull off, but those things are not required to get most of the value out of the hero. You could still do those things and be, like, good, even if you fail them 75% of the time, but you do land your combos, you'll still get plenty of kills on this character. He is objectively very powerful, and it is not a thing where, like, you have to be the best Spider-Man to really get value out of this guy. Like, he could just do it so well and be so mobile that, like, it's very hard to punish him. So only when you fight against characters like Hela, when you fight against characters like Namor, and specifically Namor, not just with the squids, but with his primary fire burst damage. When he hits headshots, and when Hela hits headshots, you get punished pretty hard on Spider-Man. Aside from that, very difficult to pin this character down. And because of that, he gets a ton of value. Although, there are certain characters that are not affected by his one-hit combo, which is like the, not just the pull you in and uppercut you to death, but the pull you off the map. Certain characters can avoid that entirely, and so he's better against squishy characters, but still very, very strong across the board. Squirrel Girl is kinda cheeks, bro. Kinda cheeks. I'm gonna say better than Punisher, but not as good as Wanda this season. She's really good for low ELO players. She can be extremely, extremely good when you are playing against people who don't know how to play the video game. Is that terrible to say? Maybe, but it is the truth, dude. If they don't shoot the Squirrel Stampede, it can do work. If they will stand in a long hallway and get spammed on over and over again by Squirrel Girl primary fire, it can work. But at the highest levels of play, you just don't see this character. You know why? Because there are better options that reward you more for your ability to aim. And as the tiers go up, as the ranks go up, and you start seeing people be able to aim better and better and better, there's no reason to play Squirrel Girl, because you can do everything that she does by just shooting them in the head, you know? And that goes for Hela, that goes for Namor, that goes for Star-Lord, who we'll talk about in a second. For Psylocke even, like, there's so many of them, right? So many characters. Fucking Hawkeye, right? Like, these characters will just dumpster a whole team, can win a whole team fight based solely on their ability to shoot things in the head, you know? So, Squirrel Girl can never really be that good. Also, her ultimate gets absolutely dumpstered if your team has half a brain. So, because of that, she's just kind of meh. She's better than Punisher, because her burst damage is better, but, aside from that, she's really, really not that good. Star-Lord is still like an S-tier pick. He didn't really get changed at all. He got balanced in Season 1.5, where he has twice the boost that he had before with his rocket boots. It's still very good. His primary fire damage is still very high, and the amount of work you can put in with this character is ridiculous. His ultimate can be a team wipe if you play it correctly and your team is there to support you and keep you alive. The amount of value you can get out of this character is ridiculous, but his E got nerfed, and so because of that, he is now at the bottom of S tier, the very, very bottom of S tier, and he's just not that good. The E specifically is not that good for generating the ult charge like it was before. The E does do a lot of damage still. It does a lot of AoE damage as well if you can live through using it in a crowd of people. But in general, it will not give you like a fuckload of ult charge like you were expecting it to before, and that's probably for the better, you know? Because, like, you can't just Magneto bubble a Star-Lord and give him a free 30% of his ult every, like, 10 seconds, and because of that, we're now seeing less legendary ultimates than we saw before, and I think that's probably for the best overall. Very good character. You still can't go wrong picking him, and he is especially powerful in the res comp, which I talked about earlier. The res comp with Star-Lord and Mantis is ridiculously good. Arguably the best team up in the game right now, but that's a discussion for another day. Storm. Storm is really good, bro. She's really, really strong. But you don't see her. Why is that? Honestly, I don't really know. she didn't really get nerfed or anything. She's still just as good as she was before. She just kind of fell out of the meta. Like, Hela is better at countering her now than she was before, and that does make it more difficult to deal with the Storm, and more difficult to play as a Storm. And because of that, like, maybe you could argue that she's not as good as she was, but, like, not every game is going to have a Hela in it. You know, what about the games where you ban Hela? You know, and then you can kind of get free value out of Storm. Her damage amp is still pretty good. Her ultimate is still pretty good, especially when comboed with the Human Torch. The duration of her Tornado ult is ridiculously long when you combo with the Human Torch. And she's still pretty goddamn strong, bro. Pretty strong. You just don't see her anymore. I don't think that the team up with Thor was that big of a deal. I believe that the team up with her kind of didn't really matter. You know, she was good based solely on her kit alone, not really the team up. That was just kind of like icing on the cake. She's a very strong DPS, remains a very strong DPS here in Season 2. Thor. I'm sorry, Mike. Thor is like the bottom of A tier. Thor is like a big DPS. Like, he is good in terms of getting kills. He is okay in terms of keeping himself alive. He is not as good as a staller as Captain America, and therefore not as good at the tanking role as Captain America is, especially in this season, especially with the team up with Bucky and the additional health that Cap gets. Like, Thor is just really a really big DPS, basically. And because of that, he's okay. He's not bad. But he's not as good of a tank as some of the other tanks that are currently in the meta. But still pretty good. Still pretty strong. I'm putting him below Captain America because I believe that Cap is like the main slept-on tank right now. But there are better options, and that's why you don't really see the two of these characters too often. But both of them are pretty good. Pretty goddamn solid. Venom. Venom is, in Season 2, I would say, like, Venom is like here. Venom is like in a fight with who is the tank that you bring home at 2 o'clock in the morning at the bar. Does that make sense? Like, Venom is like Venom, Thor, and Captain America are like the 3 tanks that remain at the bar at the end of the night, and you have to choose which of these lesser picks you're gonna settle for. Does that make sense? Venom is not bad. He is very good. He is especially good when comboed with Spider-Man, and I would say if there is a Spider-Man on your team, then he gets raised above both Thor and Captain America, because the two of these characters, when diving together, are a force to be reckoned with. They are very strong, and Venom facilitates the team up with Spider-Man, which gives Venom more survivability, and Spider-Man more damage and survivability, but just on his own, he's pretty good. Dive is pretty strong, and can be very effective. That being said, there are other characters that kind of do dive and kind of sustain against dive pretty goddamn well. The tanks that are currently meta right now don't give a fuck about dive. It's really the supports that are worried about that part of the game. So you don't really have to worry too much about Venom. He is good at living. His damage output is okay. He's got a one-hit combo that can be difficult to pull off, but you can pull it off. When comboed with Spider-Man, he's ridiculously strong, and the two of these characters combined can run a lobby, but on his own, he's not that good, and I would say he's worse than Thor in terms of getting damage, better than Thor in terms of surviving, but I think that Thor is a more effective tank because he kills things. Venom kills things less often, but soaks a little bit more damage. I don't necessarily think that soaking damage with your face is the best way to do that, and because of that, I'm going to say that he is maybe, like, a little bit worse than Thor overall. Bucky. Bucky is like the bottom of A tier. I'm gonna put Bucky down here. I think right next to Captain America. I think that Bucky has fallen pretty hard since the Season 1.5 patch. He got a nerf to the cooldown of his hook, which is the main reason you brought Bucky to begin with, because he could displace tanks, pull them into your team, and make their life a living hell for everybody that is on the enemy team. Playing without a tank is like one of the worst feelings in the entire game. So when Bucky could just freely hook your tank into his backline and then uppercut him back further into the backline, your tank just falls over, specifically Groot. Your tank just falls over, and that makes it like impossible for you to play the game. That happens less often now than it ever has before. His ultimate also got nerfed very slightly, which I think is needed. I think Bucky is seen less in the meta now because there are other picks that are just as good, if not better, than him. So I do think that he is still a very strong DPS, but his primary fire is just a shittier Hela. Like, Hela is just everything that Bucky does with mouse one, with left click, right? Everything that Bucky does with left click, Hela just does better. And she also has a really good ultimate. So, like, I think that Bucky is okay. He's not bad. He's not great. And he's no longer the menace that he was. Definitely not an S tier pick anymore. Wolverine is like a B tier pick. He's not bad. He's okay. But he gets fucking dumpstered by Emma Frost. And he gets countered hard by The Thing. I said in the last season that because The Thing released, Wolverine was worse than he was in Season 1. And that is still true now in Season 2, where I took Wolverine out of the S tier in the Season 1.5 patch because we had The Thing introduced to the game. The Thing cannot be crowd controlled. He can't be displaced. And because of that, he is impossible for Wolverine to get the full value of his kit on. Emma Frost has now been introduced to the game, and Emma Frost doesn't give a single shit about Logan. She will pick him up by the throat, slam him into the ground, kick him into the wall, and Logan will die. He will fall over, he will fail his ability to grab her, and then she'll stun him, kick him in the wall, and just one-hit him. It's crazy how a character that was the menace to society, like the certified badass of Marvel Rivals, the one character that just could not be countered, very quickly became the character that is easily countered. Like, you just can't play him like you used to. So, in Season 1, I think he was an S-tier pick. When The Thing got introduced, I think he dropped down to A. And now that Emma Frost is here, he's a B-tier pick. Because the more characters you introduce to counter him, the less likely it is for Wolverine to get value. And while he could still shred a tank, he is not doing it as freely as he was before. And because of that, like, you're just not going to see as many Wolverines. Mr. Fantastic is pretty fucking good, actually. Pretty goddamn good this season. And I'm kind of shocked. This guy went from the F tier for Fantastic all the way up to like an A tier pick. His damage output is pretty solid. His ultimate is pretty alright. It deals pretty good fucking damage. It's not bad. I was skeptical when they changed the ultimate again. They nerfed the ultimate's charge time, I believe, as well, which means he gets less of them than he did before. But the character is now bridging the gap more between that tank and the DPS role, but he's leaning more heavily into the DPS role than he was before. Still very survivable, still very hard to kill, but he now hits pretty goddamn hard too. His ultimate now actually kills things too, which, you know, is like a solid buff. I think that Reed Richards, you kind of can't go wrong with this guy right now. He's pretty all right. Pretty all right. Give him a shot if you haven't. Invisible Woman is still an S-tier pick. I'm going to say right here. The supports, the good supports are just still so fucking good, bro. She's ridiculous. Sue is incredibly strong. Her ultimate remains very good, although it is one of the weaker healing ultimates, and it is stationary, so that also kind of decreases its value a little bit here. That being said, I think Sue is pretty goddamn strong. I think that the one-hit potential of her is very good. I think that her healing output is still very high. Her ability to displace tanks and certain DPS that really need their positioning to make their kits work, like Black Panther and Wolverine and some other characters as well. I think she's really good at crowd control. Very good healer. Very good. Like, the shield is one of the best abilities in the entire game. The shield is amazing. You can put it on everybody. You can put it on flyers. You can put it on a teammate and stand behind it yourself. It will heal everybody if everybody stands next to it. It's just really strong. Really good, but not as good as Luna Snow. Definitely not as good as Rocket Raccoon. Not as good as Loki, because Loki can grab the ultimates from the better supports in the game, and his burst output is a little bit higher than hers, but still S tier, definitely S tier. The Thing is like right here in terms of tanks. He's very good. He's pretty high in the A tier, higher than Thor, higher than Venom, lower than Mr. Fantastic, or excuse me, lower than Captain America, I would say, because actually I want to put him above these two. Yeah, I think right there. Yeah, so the power of the thing is still that he can't be moved around, right? Like, his damage output is decent, his sustain is decent. They nerfed his damage reduction ability to be only 25% DR instead of 30% DR. Does that change the breakpoints for characters? No. So just in case you guys were wondering, like, people talk about that was a pretty good, pretty sizable nerf to him. Actually, no, it wasn't. So the breakpoints for characters don't change based on the 30% mark to the 25% mark. It still allows everybody who was surviving with a 25% DR, everything that they could survive now, they could survive with 30%. Doesn't change a goddamn thing, but it does mean that if you hit him one more time, that he could potentially die. He hard counters Wolverine because he can't be kidnapped. And just in general, you will see the thing very often. The team up with Sue gives him an extra button, which increases his sustain even further. He doesn't really need that to be a good tank, but he's still not one of the S-tier tanks in the game. He is very good as an off-tank, decent as a brawler, and his damage output is okay. Johnny Storm. Old Jonald. Jonald is like... People are going to say he's S-tier. He's kind of not. He's very good. He's a lot better than he was. I'm going to put him right here. This is like a better place than the S-tier spot for him. He does not have the damage output in his ultimate to make it to the S-tier spot. He just doesn't. His ultimate is okay, and it deals decent damage over time. His primary fire got buffed, and it's decent. It's pretty good now. It's pretty damaging, as you would expect it to be. You know, it's a primary fire. It should deal some damage, right? And it does. And his buffs over time have slowly raised him up to a spot where he is very, very playable, arguably even pretty good, but his ultimate doesn't kill things really on its own. It just doesn't. The healing or the bonus health even that you get from the dive that has been introduced here in Season 2 is the sole reason why he makes it into the A tier, in my opinion, because that bonus health allows him to use his highest damage ability without being absolutely fucking shit on immediately afterwards, and because of that, now you're gonna get to use the burst damage from him a little bit more often, and you can actually sustain through that and get back into the sky and over to where you can be safe again without absolutely getting dumpstered. This character can't be S tier until he doesn't require the team up from Sue to live, in my opinion. The team up from Sue is so impactful to this character's ability to live that I don't think that you can realistically say, hey, Johnny on his own is S tier, right? Like, you could say that about Star-Lord. You could say that about Namor, about Hela, about these other characters. Like, you could say that they are S tier because on their own, with nobody else's help, they fucking run a game, dude. Johnny does not run a game. You'll never see him as the guy absolutely mowing through the whole lobby. It just doesn't happen. But he is really goddamn good now, and if you haven't played him since the Season 2 buff, I highly recommend that you do. Emma fucking Frost, bro. Emma Frost is like right here in terms of S tier. One of the best designed tanks that you could ever ask for. Her diamond form gives her strong damage reduction. It lasts for a long time. It's a cooldown, so you have to manage it properly. But that being said, her primary fire, when not in diamond form, is actually really strong too. And because of that, you're seeing her actually be able to deal damage and get kills with her primary fire. Her stone ability, where she yanks your kidney stones out and then deals 25% of your maximum health damage when they blow up, is really good, especially when you do that while also damaging the character that you are, that you pulled the stones out of. All of that is really strong. She's really good. Her stun is good. I'm not gonna oversell the stun. A lot of people are literally blowing the nuts of the stun, like it's the best fucking ability in the entire game. It's just a stun, my guys. And not only is it just a stun, but it requires a long cooldown to be activated before you can even use it. It's arguably one of the worst stuns in the game. But it does deal a good amount of damage, and it is a good stun, and it does allow her to follow up with the kick, which sends them flying into a wall, and because of that, you're going to see Emma Frost succeed in a lot of engagements where a lot of other tanks would have fell flat, because her burst damage is so fucking high, and her ultimate is also really good, because not only does it deal damage, not only does it crowd control you if you remain in it too long and forces you to walk into it without your ability to actually control your character, which is horseshit. Nonsense, bro. You should be able to press your buttons while you're getting pulled into her. That doesn't, like, just because you're walking towards her doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to press, you know, whatever ability you want to use. Like, that's stupid. But the ultimate also stops you from being able to use ults yourself, which can be very strong and can also impact the fight to a great degree, because the supports, if you use it against the supports that are about to use their ultimate to counter you, and they can't actually press Q, that makes it actually pretty good. Emma Frost is ridiculously good. What a great kit. What an insane implementation of this character. Holy shit, she's really strong. And that rounds out our Season 2 tier list here in Marvel Rivals. I think that the DPS that were already good are still very good. The exception to that is going to be Bucky, although with the Captain America team-up, he's kind of okay. With the team-up with Cap, he actually goes up to just above Cap in terms of lethality. He's still very, very strong, but the rest of the damage cast is just a little bit better. And the buffs to certain characters that were bad has actually rocketed them up several tiers with the changes that they got. I'm looking at Iron Fist. I'm looking at Mr. Fantastic. I'm looking at Johnny Storm. These characters are all way, way fucking better than they were in Season 1.5. And just in general, I think that if you are a DPS player, you have more options now than you had in the Season 1.5 patch to be able to do stuff and get good value. The support characters that were good before are all good, all very, very similarly as they were in Season 1.5, but Rocket Raccoon is now, arguably the best support in the entire game. I can't stress this enough. If you don't have a Rocket on your team, you might be throwing, bro. Like, there's kind of no reason to play anyone else when he is an option. So, you know, keep that in mind. And the other thing is that the tanks in this game are getting better and better the more tanks they release. If we continue to see tanks release with great kits like The Thing and Emma Frost, I think that the Vanguard role will be the most popular role over time. Not yet. It's going to require more characters to come in and more, like, badass kits to be created. But I think that we will see tank overwhelm the DPS role because they're just so good when they're designed properly. And I think that right now we're sitting pretty in the meta. There's a lot to love in this Season 2 meta here. So get out there, play your heroes, and get ready for Ultron to be released next month. And we will be doing another tier list to balance him out after the Season 2.5 patch. And we'll see how all that goes. Thank you all for watching. I'm Moonchild of Dude No Way, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, boys, we made it. We made it. That's the end of our Season 2 tier list here. I am out of breath. As you might expect, I've been talking for like an hour and a half. Hopefully that wasn't too long. I feel like that was a decently long time, but I don't know exactly how long it was. Snark is here. I just want to whisper him real quick. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to jump into Discord real fast. I'm gonna open up Discord and just have a little chat about the Season 2 meta. If he is around, I want to hear his thoughts as well. And if you guys have thoughts as well, I would like to hear them in the chat here. What are you guys thinking about the Season 2 stuff? 80 minutes? Fuck, bro. I tried to make it shorter. I did my damnedest, but it's not always so easy, you know? Not always the easiest thing here. Go. I just want to see if he responds. If he does, then I'll jump into Discord, and if not, then we're just gonna leave it right there. That was as fast as I could do it, basically. So, I think with that, I think we're good to dive into some games here. Whoa. Stop playing music in my ear. Yeah, I think we're gonna dive into a few games while we wait to see if he responds. Let's boot up the first game of the day. And I'm going to wait to see what the team picks, and then I'm going to pick around them. This guy's name is Shard and Fard, which is like as close to Shart and Fart as you could possibly get. Pretty goddamn funny. Okay. So it's going to depend on what the enemy team decides they want to play. But I am going to try to play Iron Man, and we're going to see how it goes.
As smart as me, you'd be arrogant too.
You're a famous pop star, right? That is so cool.
감사합니다. When this is over, maybe you can add me to your playlist.
Gonna mute the mic real quick while I destroy a water bottle and then yeet it across the room. Again, I don't think Iron Man is that good of a DPS in this current season. I just really like playing him, so forgive me. Damn. Okay, so Snark said for sure. I will jump into the Moon's Fire Team section in the Discord here, so just in case he is listening. Snark, I'm in Discord if you want to chat. Just give me a few here, because I want to get through this game then. And then we can talk about it. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to use this as my pillar of cover, because it gives me good separation between the bottom and top rows of this map. I'm going to fly down a little bit here, get into the healing. We're now going to get up. I'm going to use my armor overdrive, start pounding down into the support of the enemy team here. And we're just kind of utilizing this pillar to give me cover along the way. And I'm putting out strong damage on the enemy team as I move forward. Going to reload here before I advance. We do see the Namor squids are there, and because of that, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I have to worry about them. I would expect that the Star-Lord on their team will come out from the doorway on the second floor. And if he doesn't, well then that's just a mistake. Okay, it was Namor. We're just going to kill Namor real quick. Maybe not, because I am low health. I'm going to try and get down, and hopefully my healers see me. And they did. We're putting in that heavy damage on the thing. As we round this corner, we're going to continue to just spam damage into them around this corner here. And we know that they have a Luna Snow, which is who is going to be the recipient of my Maximum Pulse when the time comes. I'm going to be very excited to Maximum Pulse into this Luna Snow. Hopefully I get her. I'm out. I'm not out. I'm out. I'm fucking out, dude. I'm not getting caught in a position where the map changes and that gets me killed. That is one of the most annoying parts about this map. We're just gonna wait for the Luna Snow to get into a place where I want her to be. And unfortunately, I got the Star-Lord and not the Luna, but that's kind of okay because her ult is already over and they made zero progress with it. And that's great for me. Gonna go ahead and spam this big damage down into the Cloak and Dagger here. I am looking for where our Captain America is engaging with somebody, but I'm not trying to put myself into a position where I get fucking dumpstered by putting Iron Man, the flying character, into a space where he can't fly. Just gonna start preemptively tracking where the Wolverine will likely go. And that's gonna be the end of round one here. It kind of doesn't get much easier than that, you know? Like, that was basically as easy as it could have gone, 4-0. Only one person on our team even died. These guys are doing their best, question mark? I don't even know. I would expect them to counter my Iron Man here in round two, which may mean that I have to swap characters. We're going to see. But I'm excited that I got to play DPS on the first game of the day. That is actually pretty cool. No. Phantom, you will drop down to 50% ult charge if you have a full ult. If you're below 50%, you'll drop down to basically 0. But you're doing great. Like, I just want to ask you guys this. If you have a game where only one person on the entire team dies, why the fuck would you swap?
3, 2,
What sense does that make? Am I crazy here? Am I crazy for thinking there's no reason to swap if we didn't die?
Don't bother trying to make people care. Show them what matters to you.
Alright, so I'm going up, getting some very high angles here so that I can see where the enemy team is basically at any point. I'm now going to use my armor drive my armor overdrive here, and I'm just gonna pillar hump this Star-Lord until he dies. And he did, and that's great for me, because now I don't have to worry about the Star-Lord killing me with Legendary, and so now I'm going to wait a second, and then we're gonna beam this Namor out of the sky there. The Cloak and Dagger ultimate went off on the point, but it doesn't matter because the Cloak and Dagger never got a chance to actually do anything. I'm gonna stand directly in front of this Luna Snow so that she sees me and gives me some heals. Thank you so much, Luna. Very appreciated. And here we go. Going up, going up. I don't really want to be here, so I'm gonna stay right here so that I can easily escape when I need to. We're gonna use this pillar for pillar humping. Now that the Namor is kind of up in the sky here, I am going to kind of press out a little. With Emma Frost going down, it's time to reposition back to the spot that I was before. I do not want to be caught with my pants down while the enemy team is all coming forward and in a position where I shouldn't be on Iron Man. You want to make sure that you are utilizing his vertical space in a way that keeps you alive. And there's the counter to me as Iron Man. They have swapped over to Bucky. What they don't know is that the Bucky pick is very difficult to hit Iron Man because of the travel time of his primary fire. I basically just won't die to that most of the time. And so I'm just going to try and kill this Luna Snow if I can. It doesn't matter that she's ulting right now because half my team is already dead. We're going to go ahead and take our leave of this point. We should back out while we wait for everybody to regroup. If you're on the point right now, you're wrong. Please stop wasting everyone's time and back out. Yes, fall back. Exactly. Thank you. It's ridiculous. Going up. Just waiting for my team to come back. Got Luna Snow on her way back. She's got 2% to an ultimate here. We got Loki as at 5%. No, Loki has ult now, so we're good there. It's time to punish this Magneto. Gonna fly up. We're gonna start damaging down on their supports, and there we go. That's one support down. That's a triple kill there. And again, we're going to pillar hump here. We're just gonna pillar hump on this Star-Lord so he can't kill me in his ultimate. And unfortunately, I did go down, and I didn't catch any heals from my team when I was obviously the target of the legendary ultimate. I don't know how the fuck he just ignore me at that point, but it is what it is. That was my first death of the game, so he had to use his ultimate to kill me, so it really doesn't matter, right? I'm just salty because, like, they were right here. You know, they could have healed me. They just chose not to. We're now powering up, using the armor overdrive ability. I'm going to save my ultimate for when the Luna Snow ult goes off here. We have the Cloak and Dagger ultimate going off in the background. No real need to worry about that. And that is the game there. That's 10-1. What an easy game, dude. The only time I died was to a Star-Lord ult. Let me just tell Snark that I am in Discord. I'm in Discord if you want to join me, brother. There we go. All right. So if we can get Snark in here, then we'll have a little discussion about his thoughts on the meta, you know, do a little catching up here, and we'll talk about that a little bit. That was a super fun game. I like when I get to play Iron Man and not get immediately countered, and yeah, I had fun with that one. Let me back out of the screen so that we can all see what's going on here. We're going to jump over to the full cam screen so that we're not just sitting here. I'm going to turn a little bit of music on for us while we chat about the meta here. Snark, what's going on, bro? Welcome back.
Hey, so it's been a little while.
It really has. Hang on, let me send you through the... Oh, I did the wrong thing. Hang on. Let me send you through my speakers in my headset. I have you coming out of my speakers in front of me right now. There we go. Yeah, dude, welcome back. How was your time in Monster Hunter? You... Let me see. I can't actually hear you over there, so let's put you right here. Yeah, that works. Yeah, dude, I can only imagine that you went hard in the paint when that game came out. I know you've been waiting for a long time for that to come out. I think you also played last year during the Return to World event, right? Like, you also went back and played some more?
So I played War before then, and then I stopped playing it, and then everyone got into it again, so I got back into it because I had new people to play it with. And then, yeah, it was cool seeing a lot of people play that, because I don't really mess with the last game Rise, like the Switch port one.
1 second here. trying to find the Discord audio so that I can put us into the full screen spot here, because I feel like it's just better. Audio, application audio. Here we go. And Discord sound. Bang, we're gonna do one of those, and then that should be good. Everybody should be able to hear him. Guys, you let me know in chat if you can't hear Snark while we're having this Discord conversation, but everything looks like it should be working. Tyr says he's hopping on PC. All right, sounds good, Tyr. What do you think of Emma Frost? You love her, right? She's fucking amazing. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I feel like her kit is exactly how we need to see more tanks added to the game, because when they come in and they're strong, we want to play tank, which you can't really say most of the time. Like, a lot of times tank is like the worst, least picked role, the most hated role in the game, and I feel like with the introduction of Emma Frost, they did it in a way that made everybody want to pick Emma. Like, even me. I mean, yeah, the Gunnar aspect of it is its own can of worms, right? But just in terms of her abilities, like, she's super strong. She's crazy good. Yeah, I think they good. Yeah, same. I do think that to nerf her ult slightly, when you get fixated and you start getting pulled in, I think, like, I don't know why, I talked about this a little while ago, but, like, I don't know why you can't use your abilities when you're getting pulled to her. It would be fine if you could still press your buttons, you know, but, like, you're stunned in this animation for, I want to say it's 2 seconds, and that feels really bad. So, like, if I could still press buttons, that would be fine, and, like, yes, I'm forced to move to you, but, like, what if I am the thing and I pop my leap to somebody and give me DR, you know, like those kinds of things could be the difference maker here. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I mean, dude, Monster Hulk is not as good as Emma Frost. It's crazy. And you can't hear him. How is that possible? I literally have Discord sound on in this. Tyr, can you hear him now? Can you mic test for me real quick? Tyr, can you just, and Star, if you can throw a headphone in real fast and just give me a heads up whether or not you can hear this conversation? Because otherwise, you still can't hear him, really. Because it is on. Twitch and YouTube. So but Discord sound is on inside of OBS, so, like, this is the weird part, right? Like, it should be active. Maybe it's... Let me just make sure that this is, like, okay, advanced audio properties. I'm gonna double tap this Discord sound and just make sure that it is, yeah, it's using Discord. Super weird. All right, so then I'll just go back over here, at least for now, because I do feel like change the property to the voice chat. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but we're gonna go over to this screen. You guys tell me if you can hear him here. Because I do want you guys to be able to dive in on this. This is some juicy meta talk here for Season 2. And while I do think it is, like, better to have me in the full screen, you know, because you're not just sitting here staring at Doctor Strange, but, you know, if we can't use the full screen mode, that's fine, too. I just want to make sure that it works. So, I think that, Emma Frost, the main thing that I think that needs to be, like, nerfed, like, specifically nerfed, because I think that the being able to press your buttons while you're fixated and being pulled in is more of a balanced, like, quality of life change than it is, like, anything. I do agree with the pull. The pull is very cool. It's the stun part that just feels like a step too far. Because, like...
Yeah.
like, being able to counter that is totally fine, you know? Like, throw a shield up. You know, if you're Strange and you start getting pulled in, you right-click and hold the shield. You know, if you're Mag, you press your personal bubble or your metallic curtain or whatever. You know, there are things that you can do to save yourself from that. But currently, you just get fixated and you can't press anything. I just think that's weird. But,
I mean, my only thing with that, though, is just, like, what would be the point of the ult, then? Because, like, the whole thing right now is, so, like, say I'm playing Strange, right? You know, I start getting hit by Emma, I start getting mind controlled, I can hold my shield up and block it, but then if I don't hold my shield up, I get pulled, and then I can hold it up, then I just don't take any damage. Like, I feel like there just wouldn't really be a point of the ult if there was that much counterplay to it.
Yeah, I think that the point of the ult is to stop support or whoever, the most dangerous person, from being able to utilize their ult while you win the team fight. In my opinion, that's the use of the ult, and how it, like... Because it deals decent damage. It's not great, but it's decent, right? But, like, the main driving factor behind it is that they can't press Luna Snow ult while you're hitting them with it. And that is, like the cancel of other people being able to ultimate is arguably, I think, more impactful than the damage that it puts out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the damage is anything. I think the way that I use the ult, if I don't have the entire team lined up, what I'll do is I'll look at one person, like I'll look at a squishy until the bar fills up for mind control, and then I'll focus on somebody else. Because even once they're controlled, even if you look away, they keep walking towards you. So it's just lighting up free kills for my team.
Yeah, that's fair too. That's fair too.
That's how I do it anyway. If they're not lined, I mean, ideally, you know, everyone's in one spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the predictive nature of the ultimate. In that, if you know that so-and-so is about to have ultimate, you can be like, all right, I'm going to beam the shit out of them. Let's kill all of their teammates. So even if after 8 seconds they do press ult, it's too fucking late anyway and they lost this team fight.
Yeah.
So, just, you know, but the fact that it can be versatile enough to be utilized in different ways, I think, is speaking to the power of the character overall.
For sure.
And just in general, I think if we get more tanks like Emma and more tanks like Thing that make you feel like you're, like, impactful and, like, that feel tanky, you know? Because, like, it's not that Captain America doesn't feel tanky sometimes. It's that he doesn't feel threatening, you know? And, like, yeah he can live for a long time, but you kind of don't care about him being there, you know? And, like, when Emma is there, you care. Like, you get away from that bitch when she comes.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Cap lately. Like, I just started playing him, and I have a pretty solid win rate with him right now. I'm actually really enjoying him as a dive tank, but it's a thankless job. But, like, I played a match the other day, and I was just playing healer in the first round for, like, a challenge or something, but we were getting shit stomped. And I swapped to Cap in second round, and just by, like, harassing the healers, I was able to push both their healers into spawn and just sat there outside blocking, like, not letting them out. And... like, you're not gonna get high stats or anything. Like, I did not get, like, a ton of kills or anything, but it's just, like completely cutting off the healers from the rest of their team, I feel like is incredibly, important.
Yeah, dude. He is the stall champion. Like, he can sit there and not die for so fucking long. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then, if you're about to die and you get your ult, you're fine.
And the other thing that I like about him is that as long as you have 2 tanks, excuse me, it kind of requires you to have 2 tanks for this to work, but... if you have 2 tanks and one of your 2 supports picked fucking Adam Warlock, you can use his ultimate to make up for the fact that you don't have a good support ultimate, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
The only thing about
it...
it...
also... yeah.
The only thing about it is that they need to find a way to make that show up on the scoreboard because low-ranked players don't understand why to even bring a Captain America. Because, like, even if you generated the same amount of bonus health that Luna Snow healed in her ult, like, you would still... not, like, no one would be able to tell because you can't see it on the scoreboard, you know? And, like, low ELO players, they look at the scoreboard and bigger number equals better player. So, like, for Captain America, it just, like low health or low skilled players are never gonna play him, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially because I think the reason why I like him so much right now also is... if you're like random queuing, if you're just playing with randos, I think he's a very self-sufficient tank where you're not really relying on healers like other dive tanks are. You know, like Venom or Hulk, where Hulk especially, I think, where it's like you get in, you know, you're disrupting, you're messing up their backline, but you're taking a ton of damage, so at some point you're gonna have to return to your healers, and if they don't heal you, then you're cooked.
Right.
But Cap can kind of just like stay, like he doesn't really have to leave. And and I feel like you just have like when you play Cap, you have an internal knowledge of where all the health packs are too.
Yeah.
Where you just go health pack to health pack and you're fine.
Yeah, and the other thing, he has the mobility to be able to get to the health packs, even when he's in a fight. It's not like Hulk's mobility. Because the thing about Hulk that, like, is the problem is that if he's in the air, you can't actually utilize his, jump. So, like, a lot of times, if you get pulled or you get displaced as Hulk, which, again, like, is another problem with Hulk in general, like, biggest fucking guy in the whole game can be pushed around like a baby. Like, what is going on here? But, like, his mobility is solely reliant on being able to be on the ground. So if you're not on the ground, then, like, you just don't do anything, right? And then with Cap, it's like, even if I'm in the air, I can press shield bash and it will take me. Even if I'm in the air, I can press dive and it will take me. And, like, you don't have to worry about that. I think that's huge. You know, I think that's massive.
You're also CC immune when you're in the dash. So even if there's like a Jeff ult or like a Strange ult, if you hit your shield bash, you're just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think with Hulk, because like one of my buddies, like he's probably the best Hulk player I've seen. I think he's an absolute menace on Hulk. But you know, especially me coming off of like Penny being my first tank, I think I have a lot to say on this. Is if you CC Hulk once, he dies.
Yeah.
As long as your team is there.
Yeah.
Like he is. If you hit a single stun on him, he's dead.
Yeah. And like you could argue that point for Venom too, but you have to time it better with Venom. Like Hulk, it kind of almost doesn't matter when you time it. As long as you do it, it kind of kills his ability to keep going.
I think the easiest way to do it with Hulk is just wait till you think he's gonna jump and then hit a CC on him, because then he has to charge it back up. But with Venom, it's like Venom, if your entire team is there, you can bake him down. But if he gets like, you know, as soon as you CC Venom, he's mashing his E.
Yeah.
Because you know, as soon as he gets out of the CC, he's getting 800 health minimum.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
exactly.
So he's kind of fine, but Hulk is especially just dead if you CC him.
Tier wants to join in on our Discord chat. You cool for one more?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah,
all right,
I've got to go in like 15-20, but
all right, perfect.
I'm chill until then.
All right, Tier, jump into the dudes lounge and I'll pull you down into the fire team. So the other thing about this season is that I wanted to talk to you about, because I know you played him a lot. The Bucky nerfs. I feel like Bucky, personally, I don't think he actually got nerfed that hard, but he's fallen out of the meta like basically completely. How do you feel about those?
So I played him for like the first time this season last night. I didn't really feel much of a difference. I think them putting the hook on a longer cooldown is it's like I feel like I'm gonna get less kills with him because of that, but yeah. I feel like the damage that he brought and like the actual utility is still fine. Like I can still kidnap a Groot and eviscerate him, you know. I just can't do it as frequently.
Right.
So it's like I don't think the nerfs really touched him that bad. I think I didn't really feel the ult nerfs either. Maybe it was a little bit harder to get it going, but like that'd be about it.
Right. It still snowballs really hard. It's like he's basically still as good as he was before, although slightly less with the tank pulling capabilities. But like aside from that, he really didn't get nerfed that bad, but he just fell off a cliff in terms of when you see him in games now. Like he's like
less popular.
Yeah, dude, he's so much less popular. And I do still kind of feel like his primary fire is just a shittier version of Hela's primary fire, but that being said, like the team up with Captain America, the new team up, counts as an ability, so he now has another way to reload his gun. So when you combo that, you know, you combo him with Cap, I think he's just as good as he was before. Again, like if your only reason that you brought him was because he could hook tanks, then maybe you could argue that like he's definitely worse, but I don't think he's worse to a point where it really matters.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about their team-up ability. I think for Bucky, it's great just being able to jump to anyone, but, like, I've been playing Cap, and it's kind of like a Venom Spider-Man situation where if I play Cap, somebody's probably gonna lock Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But I feel like for that, because I have to wait for him to initiate it, so, like, the way that I've liked to use it so far is, like, if I'm gonna dive on Cap, I can prime the ability beforehand and then have it, reel me back in. But the thing is, that's entirely hinged on when the Bucky hits his team up as well.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, I'm fine, I can get reeled in, and then he just doesn't hit it, or he reels it in too early, too late, you know? So it's like, I kind of wish for Cap it was more just like a hit the button, dive back, but he's the anchor of the team up, so like, I'm not surprised that it's not that way.
Yeah. I do like that they gave him extra health. I think it's kind of weird that they nerfed his base health, Captain America, nerfed his base health, and then gave him the nerf plus the nerf again in bonus health for doing the team up with Bucky. Like, what was the point of even nerfing him then? Just give him the 50 bonus health, because they nerfed his health by 50 and then gave him 100 health when he gets the team up. So it's like, just give him 50 health for the team up then and leave his regular health alone. Like, was it really that big of a deal?
Yeah, I don't love how they do the whole like team up stat bonus, or like how do they word like the seasonal bonuses. I feel like that's really confusing for people getting into the game, first off, but also like I don't I don't like if they're gonna rotate team ups in and out. I don't really like that a character's effectiveness is entirely hingent on somebody else playing a character.
Yeah.
As well.
Yep.
Like I just don't really like that.
Yeah, same. And like I kind of feel that way about Strange and Wanda, which we could talk about in a second. But I want to ask Tyr. Tyr, do you have any thoughts on the Bucky situation after the nerfs, and specifically the Bucky and Captain America team up? Do you have any thoughts about that?
I guess that's a no.
Man.
Oh.
There we go.
Alright, so, hear me out. I don't think they really nerfed Bucky enough to make him a whole lot worse. I mean, they just reduced the amount of damage that they have to take to die. I mean, sorry. Added more damage that they have to take to die. And added more to his cooldown of the hook, or did they reduce his hook?
Yeah, they basically increased his cooldown by 50% for the hook.
I mean, yeah, he's still playable. I think the Captain America team-up's just stupid, though. I mean, for mobility, maybe. It doesn't really do shit.
Yeah, I think it's good for Bucky just because he didn't have mobility, but it doesn't do anything for Cap.
Yeah. And like the other thing about I lagged a little bit. And I think my camera froze as well. Give me 1 second while I fix the camera. I think the other thing about Bucky and the Captain America team-up is that, like, Bucky's team-up with Rocket Raccoon was actually good for Bucky. The team-up with Captain America, like, Bucky doesn't... I don't think Bucky really gives a shit.
No, the team-up getting removed is definitely a big Bucky nerf, I think, overall.
Yeah, because infinite ammo on a 3-shot gun was, like, really fucking good, bro. Really good.
Yeah. I honestly kind of like the nerfs overall, just because it's like, you know, I played a lot of Bucky before. I don't think it hurt him that much. Where it's like I can play him with about the same amount of effectiveness that I was at. But if nothing else, he's played less, so I get to play him more, and he's probably going to be banned less as well.
He'll definitely be banned less. Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely just shook up the meta. So like I think that was kind of a perfect nerf to a degree. Unless it's like, I mean, unless somebody finds some tech that makes him a problem again. Like I think the problem before was, like, he was very effective, but he was also seen every single match.
Yeah.
So,
and I do think that because they buffed Rocket in the way that they buffed him, I think that was the catalyst for why they removed the team-up to begin with. Because if Rocket is in every game with the old team-up, Bucky is always in every game then. You know, so like there's no world where you don't see Bucky if Rocket is super hardcore meta, as long as he can get infinite ammo. So in that regard, I guess I do agree. And like this is one of those characters that I have talked about needed to be nerfed for a while, but like I don't necessarily know that his snowball potential got nerfed as hard as I would have liked to have seen it get nerfed, but I think a hard cap on the amount of agains that you could get would be a good thing. But that being said, they did nerf it a little bit, and I have seen significantly less again chains this season than I did in Season 1.5. So maybe it was the perfect amount of nerf, and I'm just biased because I am tired of hearing the voice line over and over again.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't really... I think the old change was honestly more like a it was definitely like a soft nerf where it's like you know, in playing Bucky, I think, like I said, I think it's harder to get the snowball because people don't just drop that at half health anymore, basically.
Yeah.
But it's like I think it's one of those things where it's just a little bit harder to get it snowballing, but it's like it's still just as good if you do get it snowballing.
Yeah.
I think if they capped it at like 6 kills or something, like kind of like Fantastic Bounce or something like that,
right?
I think that'd be fine. Like I don't think that would really change much. Like you're still getting a team wipe off of that.
Right.
So,
and like they can even, like, if they cap it, they can even leave the getting it reset off of Loki clones. If they don't cap it, I think if there is a further nerf, I think the next nerf would be remove the reset on things that are not real, because we now have 2 additional characters that create clones compared to last meta, and those also reset the cooldown, which I don't think is great, you know? So, like, with the Magneto team-up and the Psylocke team-up with Emma Frost, now that they also create clones of themselves, you can also get resets on those, and I don't love the I hit a not player and got another ult, you know? So...
Yeah. I know, I think that's a little ridiculous, especially if they don't cap it, because there's been a lot of matches where, like, I'm armed and dangerous. I wipe most of their team, waiting on a respawn, but my ability's about to go out, and then I find an unfortunately placed Loki clone. I can just get another 8 seconds on my, or 6 or 8 seconds on my ult by just hitting air.
Right.
Like I think that's a little stupid.
Yeah, it's a little wild, bro. It's a little wild. And like the if you space it out too, you can stretch it for ridiculously long periods of time. Like if there's one Loki clone that remains, you wait out the full 7 seconds because it's 8 total before it goes away, and then you hit him with it, and then you have 6 seconds to actually kill them. So you wait it out until 5, and then you kill it, right? And now you've got a further 8 seconds, and like you basically just extended it like 25 seconds or something like that. So it's like it's crazy how much value you can get out of it based on that. So I like if they do continue to balance that, that's what I would like to see. Just remove, like, it only works against players, I think is the best way, right? And like maybe that means that Bucky whiffs his ult sometimes because the Loki baited you into hitting his clone instead of the actual Loki. I think that's fine. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, he outskilled you. That is literally the point, instead of it just kind of giving it to you for free.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that'd be fine.
In terms of Doctor Strange and the nerf and the team up that they gave him, so removing the Gamma team up with Hulk, I played so much Strange. The Gamma team up, I kind of never really gave a fuck about the Gamma team up. It was only 10 total damage at 100 dark magic increase. So like that 10 damage is maybe the difference in getting a kill or not getting a kill one in every like 1,000 times you press Maelstrom of Madness. The quality of life of not having the anti-heal effect hit you is fine, I guess. But like that nuance kind of adds to the skill ceiling of the character, so I kind of didn't care about that either, So when they removed the Doctor Strange Hulk team up, I didn't really care. But then to nerf him, to do the same thing that they did to Captain America, where they nerfed his base health, but then gave him more health with the team up. I just wish they wouldn't do that, because he was okay without that, like removing the Gamma team up, and then just if he had just stayed at whatever health he was at before, and got 50 health for the team up, that would have been fine. But giving him that additional 50 health reduction again after having had it last season as well, I think really just put the character way lower than the rest of the tanks in the game, and he's just like objectively worse now than Magneto, which like. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, because he does have a lot of mobility options and like some cool utility tech with the portal and shit like that. But like, I don't know, man. How hard are we gonna nerf this guy? Like, how weak does he need to be before the devs say, all right, enough is enough, he's good?
Yeah, I this might be a hot take for me, because I know a lot of people like Strange a lot. I really do feel like he's the worst tank in the game right now.
And that's fair.
Just like you said, I think Magneto does everything he does and better right now.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of feel like at this point, like, yeah, his ult has some utility, his portal has utility. I think it's fun. I think it's a great swap where it's like, oh shit, we need to get on point. Someone swap Strange, get the portal. I think that's phenomenal. But I just think like the general like neutral game as a kid, I think he's kind of just a shield bot at this point.
Yeah.
And I feel like most tanks can do what he does better. I think the only one that's kind of a gray area with that is like Cap. But I really think Cap. I think a good Cap player provides a lot more utility than just Strange shield botting on point.
For sure. And like, the thing about Strange's shield, I think a lot of people see him as like the Reinhardt of Marvel Rivals. I like, because I've played so much of him, I think my opinion on that is different. But that being said, like at a base level, like people that don't know how to play the character to a really high skill ceiling are going to shield bot a lot, and so most Stranges you see are going to be that idea. They are the Reinhardt of Marvel Rivals. Words, dude, because like that's what they're gonna do. Most of the time when I'm playing Strange, I'll throw the shield up for a couple of seconds here and there, but in general the shield is used for blocking an ultimate or like weaving in between primary fire shots. Like you very rarely hold the shield up, but I do think that he is like his damage output getting nerfed. He's now worse at dealing damage than Thor is, which is fine, because Thor has to be in melee range. Melee heroes should always deal more damage than ranged heroes, because they have the inherent risk of being in melee to begin with, so like, I kind of get it, but I do think they're hitting this guy so many times and so hard. Like, when do we say, all right, let's leave Strange alone and see what the other tanks kind of fall, how the other tanks kind of fall in the meta? I do think I would rather see a Strange than like an Emma and like a Thing, or like an Emma and like a Thor. Like, I'd rather see a Strange when there's no main tank, but if there's already like a main tank, I don't ever bring Strange, aside from the portal situation like you talked about.
My whole thing right now is like I think he's a lot more beginner friendly than like Magneto. So if
Yeah.
I'm just doing quick play, I don't mind having a Strange because it's like he's a solid. His shield is good. He's a solid anchor tank. The way that I see him right now, though, I think he is a jack of all trades. I think he does a little bit of everything really well. I don't think he's the best at anything though.
No.
Um,
And
like,
his
like I said,
his ultimate is not as good at getting flat out kills as Magneto's because it requires the follow up either from yourself with high dark magic or from your team. Where Mag, if he hits the meatball, he will one hit a squishy character.
also with Emma in the meta right now, it's like if I see Strange going to ult my team, I just go diamond for him as soon as he does it. I grab him, like
Yeah.
or I either grab him beforehand or after the fact, and then he can't follow it up anyway.
And
So it's like
animation is so long that you can hit diamond for him while he presses it and grab him by the throat before his animation completes, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, so I feel like he just gets so hard countered now. I don't mind. I agree with a lot of the nerfs. I feel like they could have. I don't like, again, like you said, I don't like what they do with the team up things where they nerf base health and then give it back on a team up. I feel like that's just redundant.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, agreed.
don't give him anything. Like, don't give him any health on the team up, and maybe just reduce the nerf and reduce the buff. Just like balance it out a little bit.
Right.
But at the same time, I do like that it's not just objectively like for example, if I'm playing ranked, there's always a Strange on my team. It's like I do like that there's a little bit more variety in the tanks now.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that it's been he's just been replaced by Groot.
Yeah.
Where it's like Groot gets double banned every ranked game now.
I mean,
So-
if Groot weren't the best tank in the game, like, who would we even play? Like, if Groot didn't exist, right, can you imagine how hard it would be to argue that one tank is, like, the best tank in the game? Because, maybe Emma Frost right now because of how strong she is, but, like, Groot is so far and away with his damage output and the amount that he blocks, like, straight up, like, the best fucking tank. Like, he's so good. He's so ridiculously good, but like also he requires a person who understands how to play Groot, and not get, because as soon as he gets displaced, Groot is dead. But like if you set up correctly and you maintain your walls correctly and you stay with your team and you never get displaced, Groot just dominates. Like his damage output is so fucking high.
I think if it wasn't Groot, it'd just be Emma Magneto. But I've always felt that way about Groot, where it's like I think he has always been the biggest playmaker of the game. Where it's like a good Groot player could like straight up win you games.
Yeah.
Like solo.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I've never been more pissed off by a bad player if they're playing Groot, because like I hate when people play Groot and like and mess me up and stuff like that. Where it's like oh, this guy's their healer's one shot and their wall just appears in my face.
Oh
where
my
it's like,
god, bro. Yeah.
And I've been playing Hulk too, and my buddy Toast, he would always complain about my other buddy Paul playing Groot because and that's how I kind of got it now after playing some Hulk, where it's like even a good Groot wall, if you're playing Hulk, can just get you killed.
Yeah.
Where it's like blocks your jump, stuff like that. Or even like I'm playing Iron Fist, I whip a 180 and try and kick out, and there's a wall in my face, stuff like that.
Yep, and you're just dead.
So
yeah, Groot has the unique position where he could help you or kill you that quick. Like in the span of press shift and left click, he could kill you that fast on like the Groot on your own team, which is crazy.
Yeah, and the frustrating part is like, and that's even if they're a good Groot, that can happen. It's just like it requires such good team synergy. So like I'm not mad about him being in the meta. It's just tough. It's just tough.
Yeah.
But,
and then he caught like his ult combo. Like again, like I'm glad that Moon Knight got his ult nerfed because I do think it was bad. But like Moon Knight was a terrible character other than the ult, and I don't think that you could just have one character that's like he's fucking useless except for Q. As soon as he presses Q, that's the full value of the character, and if he doesn't get value with Q, you could have played anybody else. But like now we just have the same thing, but now it's Namor, and the character's just really good otherwise. And we still have the one-hit potential of the Groot combo with the ultimate, so it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think Moon Knight's to the point now where it's like, I mean, not in point now, it's just like, I think he's really good if they group up, but then it's like, it's one of those things where they group up, play Moon Knight, they separate, swap off, it's just like,
yeah,
it's just doing this dance of swapping characters, and at that point, you're not even getting any ult charge.
Yeah, you're losing in the ult economy for that.
Yeah, so I don't think he's, I think, like I said, I said it in your Twitch chat, I don't know if you saw it, but it's like, I think he's just a new big character.
Yeah, Moon Knight, yeah.
Where it's like, he's very easy to play.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's so easy to just deal with now.
Before I talk more about Moon Knight, I want to ask Tyr if you have any thoughts about the Doctor Strange nerfs and where he falls. Was it too much? Was it just enough? How do you feel about that?
I think it was definitely too much. I mean, he's still more relevant than people give credit to, though. Because he still can block insane amounts of ults, like fucking Hellas, because that shit always pisses me off.
I love doing that,
Again,
dude.
yeah,
I love levitating up in front of a
hate you,
Hella, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what if I right-click, bitch? What you gonna do now? And she just does nothing, you know, because she can't.
My teammate did that shit to me the other day in ranked. My teammate. And then he apologized after like a dumbass. Didn't know it was me.
Yep. Yeah, my only thing with that. Yeah, my only with that also is just like, if you're playing Emma, it's a 300 less health shield, I think, something like that, unless they nerfed or unless they changed the health of Strange Shield, I don't remember. But
Yeah.
it's like I can just throw a 500 health shield in Hella's face and not even have to go up there. Like I can still be fighting.
Yeah, there's something to say
so-
about the power of projected barriers, and like this is why, when Sigma released in Overwatch 1, he became like the most meta tank ever because he had the best designed kit, and Emma is another one of those examples where she just has like we had all of these tanks, and then now we have a better designed kit come out, and we're all just looking at these other tanks like, well, this is going on the shelf. I don't have any reason to really use this anymore.
Yeah. I think Strange was a little over nerfed. Like I don't think it needs to be the objectively worst tank, but I'm honestly really happy with where tanks are at right now. Where I think we're in this point where I think this is the point where the most tanks are viable at the same time.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not like you're just throwing if you play Penny now. Like I think or Cap. I think they're both in really good states right now. It just sucks that Strange is like worse than everyone else.
Yeah.
But I do like that there's a lot more variety this season. On the
I
tank
think
side.
that if they didn't nerf him, there's a potential that we would not have seen as much Emma Frost as we did. And having the new character be very powerful, I talked about this in my review of Season 1, is so important because it sells more for the season. The season will sell more battle passes, more people will come back to play because the new character that just came out, the new stuff is good. You always want the new stuff to be good. And maybe they needed to nerf Strange this hard to give the spotlight to Emma, because maybe Strange would have just been the undoubtable pick again, even with Emma being as good as she is, if they didn't nerf him. I don't know, man. But the team up, though, I do want to talk about the team up, because team up with Scarlet Witch is really fucking good. Like, holy shit, it actually deals a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh, that thing shreds. Like it shreds tanks too, and it's just like I think that is nuts overall. Yeah, you definitely see a lot of Scarlet Witch this season, at least so far.
And, like, I like that because I do think that Wanda needed to be changed slightly. She needed to be buffed slightly. But, like, now, to get that team up, you have to double down on fucking your team, which I'm not exactly the biggest fan of, you know? You have to be like, all right, well, we're going to play possibly the worst tank in the game, and then we're going to combo it with one of the worst DPS in the game, and we're going to make her as good as a mediocre DPS now. But, you know, now we have the double down of two characters that are, like, just straight up weaker than if we had just picked different heroes, you know? So, you know...
Yeah. To me, the way that it feels to me, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I think it's another noob bait situation where it's like, I think Strange is one of the easiest, like, entry level... like, obviously, he's a pretty high skill ceiling. But, it's a very easy entry level tank as far as just, like, it's a guy with a shield, you know?
Right.
And then Scarlet Witch, obviously being a character that you don't have to aim on, except for the right click. It's like I think they're both pretty noob-centered characters, and giving them a team up is kind of just like introducing people to that. That's how I view it anyway. Because like you're never gonna, I don't think you're ever gonna see their team up used in like high elo play. I don't even know if you're never gonna see Strange used in high elo play anymore now that Magneto is like, you know, just doing what he does but better.
Right.
So it's like I think it's very, very noob bait.
Yeah.
Overall.
And the ironic part about that is that because of Wanda's mobility, you can even get decent use out of her even the higher up you go, because like as dive becomes more prevalent, the higher in skill you go, like you can get away from that with Wanda, and you can actually decently punish dive heroes in the DPS role specifically, not Venom, but like you can punish a Spider-Man, you can punish a Black Panther as Wanda, because the stun can be very disruptive, and the burst damage plus her ability to auto hit characters that are like very elusive makes them actually a little bit easier to kill. But that being said, like you won't see Strange, so you just won't have the team up. So the best version of Wanda will never be seen in like a one above all setting, which I think is pretty funny, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I do think that in terms of power, it's really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like seeing Magneto in the meta now, though. I think everyone likes having a good mag player on their team.
I agree.
I don't think he's like Groot where he can like make plays, but I think he's a very support focused tank, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. I like that he enables people to do things without necessarily putting himself in danger, but it also benefits him. And my only problem with him again is like he's missing out on his rotation of buttons that continue to do things for him. So like if he just had like, I do this one thing which buffs this next thing, then I do that thing which buffs this other thing. Currently it does do that, but it's missing that extra step which buffs the next part, right? So like he gets the bubble and it gives him the rings, but the rings should reduce the cooldown of the bubble so that he can continue on with that rotation and keep feeding into that playstyle. But aside from that, like he's really good, and he's really good at countering DPS that are using their ult, like roaming ults, like Punisher, which you don't see as often, but you do see a fair amount of Darkchild, and if he times it correctly, he fucks Darkchild straight up, like just one hits her, which is great. You know, and like I do like that part of his kit a lot, and I think that the only thing that kills Mag consistently is Spider-Man pulling him off the map. And you know, like I don't know that you can give a character that strong full flight capabilities, but the fact that he can counter at once with his ultimate is pretty decent.
Yeah, he has very very good standalone abilities. Just not a whole lot of interaction between them. For sure. Yeah, I think Penny's in a really good state right now, and I mean. I think she's better than you give her credit for, but I agree that she's entirely map dependent. Like you can have Penny be S tier on attack or defense depending on the map, but then it's like on another map it's like you might as well just swap. Yeah,
and like it's not that she's bad, but somebody has to be the worst tank. You know, like there just is going to be somebody that's like the worst pick, and you could get most of what you get with Penny from somebody else, but be able to do other things that are more impactful. I do think that her burst damage is unparalleled compared to other tanks. She has more burst damage than literally any character in the entire game. So for that, it's really good. She also has the best stun in the entire game. For everybody who's glazing Emma Frost's stun, Penny Parker's stun is just flat out better. Like, it doesn't require your cooldown. You don't have to press anything and hope that it's up in time. It's always active. It's got such a short cooldown that you can use it and then still have it up a few seconds later when you need it for something else. And it does everything that Emma's does, except it doesn't deal as much damage. So, like...
Yeah.
It's
not as free of a kill.
Right, but it is the best CC ability basically in the whole game. Like, it's the lowest cooldown, it's got a good duration, it interrupts ultimates, it's ranged, so it's not like Emma where you have to be within a certain range to be able to grab them by the throat like Malenia, you know, like you have the power of that, but the thing she's missing is her ability to sustain damage. And like the healing over time that she does get is good, but it's pretty easy for Penny to get yoinked out of that. Or like pushed or pulled out of that, and then she loses all of her face tank ability, which is not great.
Yes and no. So my whole thing with her, and I'm gonna speak of this from like a defense convoy standpoint, where I think she's just flat out like one of the best tanks in the game for that. I'm not gonna say the best tank. I'm not gonna glaze her that hard. But if you can just set up like a good nest spot, it's like you have consistent healing, the web stack now as well, so you get, which I thought that was a bug at first, because I know that was like how it was initially, and they got rid of it. So
right.
When that was back in the game, I was like, did she get silently buffed, or did she get, is she just bugged? But no, it's like you have constant healing. I think the sustained damage of the nest, I think, is where I disagree with you, because it's like, yeah, it's not sustained damage if there's a lot of people in it, but if one person enters it after a while, they are just straight up dead.
Yeah.
So I think her sustained damage is really good, especially if you could just like set up webs, you know, play her intelligently. I think the only part of her that is still two parts of her that are still completely ass overall. I think her ult is still pretty ass. I think it's only good for stall. Just running circles around point and like getting a little. I think that helps with the sustained damage of putting more drones and mines down and stuff. Where it's like that helps, but like it's definitely not that good. It's just like a survival option. And I think her primary is just still so bad. Like the crit, they said chance to crit, and I was like, what? Because I tried it, it was like every headshot was gonna crit, so this was like, okay, it's not a chance. But what's so bad
I said the same thing. I was like, what do you mean a fucking chance?
Yeah, but what's so bad about it, and it was the same problem Mantis had at release, I'm pretty sure, which was you alternate shooting your left and right guns. So if you hold your reticle straight on somebody's head and hold left click, every other shot might just not crit or might just miss outright.
Yeah.
Because you're alternating shots, and they fixed it for Mantis. I just think they need to do that for Penny as well, because like I'm glad that they made it where if you hit your shots, you're getting more damage now, because it's like before there was just no incentive to actually hitting a headshot. but it's still because they alternate the shots. It's like it really is kind of a chance-based thing at this point, just because of how they design like the left and right guns.
And because of the third-person perspective, cover hinders your ability to land shots on people more than it would if it was first-person. So like you have these situations where you are clearly out of range of the wall, but the wall still blocks your shot somehow, and like I don't understand why that is a thing. Again, like you said, they fixed it with Mantis. Like just fix it for Penny. Like that doesn't need to be there, you know?
Yeah. But I genuinely do think, and again, this is entirely hinged on map. I can't stress that enough. But like, if they fix her ult and fix her guns, I really do think she's like at least a top 5 tank.
Yeah.
At least. I think she's a phenomenal tank.
I think that if Penny's web during her ultimate gives the team the healing over time that she gets as well, sort of like a pseudo Captain America ultimate, but instead of bonus health, it gives you healing over time. I think Penny's ultimate suddenly goes from like a kind of okay to like a top tier ult in terms of defensive capabilities. Because like
make it slow or something. Make it slow. Like give it some effect.
Yeah. I could see that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because like right now it's just good at spreading her nest, and that's it.
Right, but like that's what I'm saying. Where like if you think of her spreading the webs as the same as Captain America's trail that he leaves behind, right? Then your team can follow your trail and continue to sustain, which makes it like a sustained tank ultimate similar to his. And then if you put that like around a point, like if you're doing a payload or if you're doing like a King of the Hill type game mode, if you put that around a point, now no matter where they go during that 8 seconds, they are getting some additional sustain. Like all of a sudden Penny's ability to tank goes up a little bit there. But like the other thing, the kind of unspoken part of this, the change to her web stacking, is that she generates bonus health faster than she did before for herself, which is also, that needs to be taken into account because it does increase her face tank ability a little bit. It's not the best, but it's still pretty good, you know? Like, that bonus health when she's at full health is actually pretty impactful.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially if you're in like 2 webs now, you can straight up just stand there and like stare down on Emma Frost, and she can't even like tickle your health bar.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like one change I think for the ult would be really cool because the problem with it right now is like I think what it does is not horrible. You know, like it's spreading the nests and like the fact that it spreads the nests is amazing and it gives you all the bonus health. That's great. But the thing is, you're losing out on your entire kit.
Yeah.
It's you're hitting your it's like Monster Hulk except you're doing less damage now.
Yeah.
So it's like if it was still like spreading the nest, giving you move speed, bonus health, you know, the mines, all that'd be great. It's just the fact that you can't shoot and you can't use your stun anymore that makes it so bad. Because like even just being able to stun people in the web would be phenomenal.
Yep.
So just losing that, like honestly, if you wanted my change for it, get rid of the melee attack, just make that your web shot, and like that would be. I'd be fine with that. Like that'd be phenomenal already.
I mean, and so, when you consider that too, because the spider bots move along the web, if you do take away the melee attack that knocks you up into the air, and you instead give the web, you're now increasing the probability that they get dumpstered by the fucking little spider bots that happen to come around. Like they get stunned for a half a second, and then they get hit by 4 spider bots. It's good game.
Yeah, like outside of the mines, her strongest ability in her kit by far is her stun. And getting rid of that in your ult is just like straight up a heart nerve.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Tyr, you got any thoughts on Penny Parker? Or the Doctor Strange Wanda team up? Because we didn't get your opinion on that before we transitioned.
I think the Doctor Strange Wanda team up is actually pretty good. If you have a Strange that knows how to work his way around the game at least a little bit, if the Wanda's good enough, she can pull most of the Strange's weight, which makes it a little bit more relevant.
It does help to shore up. I mean, it does help to shore up the problem with Doctor Strange's primary fire getting nerfed. So, like, that damage from Wanda is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyway, you were saying you hate Penny?
Not a big fan of Penny.
On your team or against her? Or both?
At all. She never really makes a difference in a match, I guess. She never really makes a big enough difference in a match that any other tank couldn't make.
You've been playing with bad pennies then?
Yeah. The thing about Penny, for me, is like her crowd control is so good that it can stop the enemy team from, it can stall their ult economy for so long that they never really get to be as impactful as they could be otherwise. But aside from the certain maps where she is good and the certain game modes where she's really good, like most of the time I would rather just have anybody, you know? I like even a DPS over a Penny a lot of the time, depending, again, map dependent, but like if we're on attack, a payload attack, like Yggdrasil Path, and somebody picks Penny Parker, I'm sad about it. You know, but that being said, if we're on King of the Hill, on any King of the Hill map, and somebody picks Penny Parker, I'm kind of alright with that.
Honestly, I like her more for Convoy, but only on defense.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that is like once you get control of cart, if you're like a good Penny or you're like a good spot on the map, it's very dependent on like where you're at and like the state of the match. But if the stars align and you have a solid Penny on your team, that card is not moving an inch further.
Yeah, and it's really hard to take it back from her. You really need crazy angles to be able to get to her spider nest to free your team up to even have the chance to get there. Because the burst damage being so high, plus you can't shoot the mines. This is a buff to Penny and a nerf to the rest of us countering Penny that we didn't talk about yet, is you can't kill the mines that are in her nest anymore as long as they are inside of the webbing. Like, you can't damage them at all. And because of that, there's no counter to Penny. And I think I talked about this at the time, but I think that was not a good change for us as gamers. Because, like, if we see a Penny nest and we have the foresight to shoot into it in case there's mines there, we should be rewarded if there are fucking mines there. They shouldn't just get free... they shouldn't just, in my opinion, get free ability to live forever while they're inside of the nest. Like, it takes thought to counterplay that, you know what I mean? And so they removed our ability to counterplay that because, like, you can't destroy anything. Like, if she right-clicks the floor, you can't destroy anything to make those mines visible now. So, like, they're just invulnerable. You just have to avoid that spot entirely forever, you know?
Yeah. Well, so that was yes and no. So, like, that was an unintended nerf, I'm pretty sure, because that kind of, the thing about doing that is like that if you could just break Penny's mines by shooting into the webs, that would completely remove her like from the game. Like, she would not be able to do anything. And that was the issue that people had, was like, if you have an Iron Man on your team, you know, just shoot in the nest, you know,
right?
Penny's fucked.
Right.
But also because the way they had it when it was bugged is you could walk into a web and hit your melee key, and you were able to break the mines before they went off.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that part. That part, you know, primary fire I'm kind of okay with, but yeah, a melee maybe not.
So my whole thing with that is, like, again, if you have, depending on the primary fire, like, if it's like a Hela or something, like, that's different, you know, it's like you can't really deal with them. But if it's like an Iron Man just holding left click, like, it's just perfect counterplay, and it kind of already is if there's not a web down, and he can even hit her nest like around corners. Yeah. But the thing is also, like, yes, they're there in, you know, definitely until they go off, but she can only have 3 of the little webs up at a time, and if she misses her stun, that's putting a web down on a wall or something, and that's gonna reveal some mines. That's true too. Yeah, so it's like, the whole thing is like, yeah, it's tough that you just like have to avoid the nests, but like that's where her strength is on like on convoy defense. It's like you can spread your nests and your mines on point, people can't touch it, and that's the whole thing. Is like she is a lockdown tank. Yeah, and especially on domination, for example, because that's what you're saying. Like you know, like King of the Hill is her the way that she would be like best used. Ideally, in like a perfect scenario, is putting her nest on top of the entire point. But if you do that, you're just sacrificing your nest. People just shoot it, you know. Right. So it's like I don't think her mine thing is like a big deal. Like, it takes 3 to kill a squishy, which is like not a whole lot. But it's like at the same time, just don't go in the way. Right. And like I was playing Penny at Doom Mesh just for like shits and giggles the other day, and I had this magic that kept running into the nest and dying. Like, she was like a third of my kills, and I won the match. And she was like saying, like, really camping on Penny. I'm like, dude, I'm in one hallway on this entire map, and you keep running at me. That's not my fucking fault. I mean, yeah, that's a skill issue, bro. That's a fucking hard skill issue. Like, at one point, I could go to the bathroom and come back, and I would have had another kill, because she just kept running at me. And it's like, dude, it's like, just in certain scenarios like that, just avoid the Penny. Penny's only a problem when you can't avoid her, when you have to push her. Yeah. And then it's like, then you're fucked. Like, but I don't think there's any part of her that's like, I think the only part of her that's like strong enough to be nerfed would be her stun. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, without the same thing as like when they nerfed her, like made her mines able to shoot. It's like, as soon as they do that, you can't use her anymore. Like, she's like straight up like unusable, because you just shoot the mines and there's nothing she can do. Her damage isn't high enough without them.
And that's a fair point. Even with the crit, her damage still isn't high enough.
Yeah. I think if they did that change where you could shoot the mines, they would have to like either make the mines do a lot more damage, which I think would be like kind of a solution, but then you still just shoot the mines and it wouldn't be a problem, or give her mines back to her like way
Instantly.
faster on a cooldown,
Yeah.
like instantly, yeah, where
Instantly.
you can just like keep throwing them,
Right.
because like if the way it is right now, like you saw it there where they messed up and they made it where you could shoot her mines, like it was like community outrage because like she was completely unplayable.
Yeah. I feel like if you give mines that are destroyed back instantly, I feel like you remove a bit of that problem. But with the cooldown on the mines, like you can have a lot of mines, to be fair, right? You could have like 16 mines, but like
It's 16, yeah.
even still, if they get instantly destroyed by an Iron Man up in the sky who just pressed mouse 1 like 2 times into your web and now all 16 of your mines are gone, like you should be able to reposition them quickly, because you're right, that is the value proposition of the character, is locking down an area, you know? And if you go in that area and you die to it, well, congratulations, you did exactly what she wanted you to do.
Yeah. I think it's especially funny with the release of Human Torch. There were so many times where like I would just bait him in, like I'd let him put flame fields on me because I knew he was gonna dive bomb him to blow him up, and as soon as he did, I would just web him and he'd die.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
It was hilarious.
It's just long enough for the mine to explode, and he can't get away. Because yes, he has a speed boost, but it's not good enough to get him out. It's not like Namor's immunity ability, which instantly rockets you up into the sky and then makes you immune to damage. Like he has to slow fly his way out, even if it is faster than the base fly speed.
Right. And Human Torch honestly is really good against Penny because he can float like right outside. It's same with Iron Man, but I think especially with Human Torch because I think his flight is I feel like his flight is better than Iron Man's because it's more like omnidirectional and like easier to control. Is he can just hover right above your nests and the mines won't even reach him. The only thing is if you land one right click on him, it's wraps. Like he's just dead.
I think that the flight, at least as far as I can tell, I played a lot of Iron Man. I've played less Human Torch, admittedly, but the flight appears to be exactly the same. The speed boost, it's a different position because like Torch has his one leg raised in the 4 symbol. But aside from that, like the flight speed and maneuverability appears to be exactly the same as far as I can tell. But the positioning makes a difference because you can block your own head with your knee while you melee on Human Torch. You can't do that with Iron Man.
Yeah, well, no, I was saying when I meant flight, I mean like the boosted flight, where it's like with Iron Man when you're boosting flight, it's basically just to reposition to escape. Whereas with Human Torch, it's the same thing where you can reposition and escape, but you can still be fighting while you do it, and you're not locked in a position where you're looking in one direction.
Yeah,
like Iron Man.
And Iron Man becomes easier to headshot while he is in his flight animation because his arms are at his sides and his legs are behind him, and his head is just like facing forward, you know, like a bearskin rug. He's basically flying through the sky like that. So like.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
don't think it makes sense. It makes sense with their kit because I think Iron Man is more of like be a nuisance from a distance where you're just raining fire on their team, whereas Human Torch is more of an engager because I mean he has a shotgun first off, but also like he has his dive.
Right.
So I think their flights make sense.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that you can block a bit of the headshots with Human Torch's animation is like an added skill ceiling that you don't see on a lot of characters. Like that alone is actually pretty fucking cool if you can utilize it correctly.
Right. I think the bonus health on his die was a very necessary change, but I think it's made him way better of a character. Like I think Human Torch is one of the best characters in the game right now because he absolutely obliterates tanks with his primary fire, and then it's like even if you do have some account, if I'm playing Namor and there's a Human Torch, you know, like I should by all means like have the advantage, and I think that I do. But if he hits his dive, it's not like before if he hits his dive, it's like, oh, he dove. Okay, anyway, he dies. You know, but now it's like that little bit of bonus health is like actually saving his life.
Yeah, I still think that I can't say like I think he's good. I think he's a lot better than he was. But a lot of people are saying that like Human Torch is like S tier now, and I don't think he can be S tier until his ult starts doing things. Like on its own and without the Sue team up to survive, like you die pretty quickly on Human Torch if they target you. Even like you do have the bonus health, but that bonus health it helps you during that one specific scenario. Aside from that, Hela can still just dumpster you from the sky, right? But the ultimate itself is really still pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just a damage boost at this point.
And not only that, but like it literally charges the healer's ult on the other team because it doesn't kill and it gives them things to heal. So you're like, you press Q on Human Torch and you're just giving the other team more Luna Snow ultimate, which is crazy.
Yeah, I would like this ult more if it interacted more with his other abilities, but like because it kind of replaces the utility of the flame fields in exchange for just like a more damaging flame field, I feel like that's kind of a bad thing because it's like you can't connect him, you can't blow him up with the dive, like it's removing the interaction from the rest of his kit.
And
for,
you
like, getting
can't
a tornado.
use the flame fields while in the ult either, which is crazy.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So I feel like it replacing a lot of his utility is my problem with it. I don't think the ult itself is like all that bad. I just think losing the rest of your kit kind of sucks.
I think that the ult should deal... Okay, I have two ways that I think that we could fix this ult. One of them, the easiest solution, is that the tornadoes pull you into the tornado. So if you are not actively moving away from the tornado, you are getting sucked in like a real tornado. Right?
Yeah.
I just feel like thematically that would make sense because then he would deal more damage. It's very easy at this point to just walk away. Like you just move away from it and then it's completely useless, you know? And like you can't do that with a Star-Lord ult unless you have a piece of cover. You know, you can't do that as well with a Hela ult because of the splash damage, right? Like, so they could still hit you, but then Human Torch, it's like, I made this tornado, it lasts for a long time, oh, but you pressed W for 3 seconds and now my ult doesn't do anything anymore. And like that feels bad. That's like the easy solution. The hard solution, the one that I think would be really cool though, is if each tornado you are being damaged by increased the damage of the tornadoes. So if you're getting hit by 1, it's the normal amount. But if you're getting hit by 2, it's the normal amount plus 25%. And then if you're getting hit by 3 of them, it's all 3 of that damage plus 50% more damage because you're getting melted. Like, fire is progressively more powerful the more fire you add to it. And I think we're missing out on that in this current iteration of Human Torch. Like, that sounds crazy, right? But think about fire in real life. Like, the more fire you add to a house fire, the more devastating it becomes. So why don't we see that effect translated in game?
Right. And I'm gonna go in a second, but I'll just leave off with this. My honestly issue with it, because like even around like just seeing the ult in like the trailer when he came out, is that it's, and this is like a goofy statement, but like I mean it in like a game standpoint as well. It's just like it's not comic accurate Human Torch, where it's like when he goes supernova in the comics, he straight up turns into a sun. Like it's a nuke around him.
Right.
And I kind of feel like I wish it was like that because like the way it is right now is just like kind of just a it's like a worse Star-Lord or it's like a worse Iron Man, you know, or it's like it's trying to be a nuke ult but doesn't do enough damage to do it.
Yeah.
It tries to make it up for it in like how many you can throw, but that doesn't really change anything.
Yeah.
I really wish it was just like an AoE nuke around you, either like a one-time thing, kind of like a Scarlet Witch but quicker, or just like a lingering area around you that's maybe did progressively more damage the closer you were to him, because that would also interact with his dive as well, where it's like you can hit Supernova and then dive into the enemy team, and anyone who's near you is just getting baked.
Right.
Like I think that would be an awesome change, but obviously they're not going to do that because that would completely change his ult.
Yeah, the current iteration of it right now, like when you press the ult, it deals like 70 damage to everything within a certain radius of you. In a similar way to the way that Hulk in Monster Hulk form has the ultimate button that you can press, it would be nice during the Supernova ultimate if you could press the ultimate button again to deal that AoE damage more than once. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what would be cool if they're going to do that, honestly, is make it where you're still throwing your normal flame fields, and then by like recasting the ult, maybe you turn them into the tornadoes, where it's like you can actually get the effect of your flame fields and then buff them or something like that.
That would be
like,
cool
I think
too.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool
I've
too.
got to go on that note. I'm going to be late.
All right,
but
dude.
It was good talking to y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming in, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Take it
All
easy.
right. Yeah, you too. Tyr, how do you feel about Human Torch?
That is an interesting point that he put up there. I think that would be pretty cool if his ult just exploded and put like a bunch of fire on the ground, kind of like Cloak and Dagger's ult, but like it does damage instead.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, or like
wouldn't
if you
change
think
it,
of it like an explosion, right? Like if imagine if like it fragged out into incendiary patches when he pressed it. So like it's not guaranteed where they will go, but similarly to his primary fire, it would have like a spread around you that dropped flame patches all around you when you press it. And then that way, it increases the danger of being around him in his ultimate. That could be cool. I like the idea of the damage over time around him in his ultimate too. So like if you are near people when you press it and like you're inside of the ultimate, like they are burning over time. I think there's a lot that could be done with this character's ult, but like he's very close to S tier right now, so any buff that they do could potentially put him into the best DPS in the game slot, so we gotta be careful about that too.
Yeah, I agree. He is pretty crazy now.
Like with Hela's damage, Like, she's the best DPS in the game because she's hit scan, because she deals so much damage, but it also requires you to be mechanically skilled enough to hit those headshots, right? And she doesn't have the mobility of a flying character. She has some mobility and some ability to be immune to damage, and all of that is good, but the general mobility, the neutral game mobility of her kit is less than Human Torch or than any of the flying characters, than a Storm, than an Iron Man, right? So, like, she can be more powerful in her primary fire because she is grounded, you know, for the most part, grounded. But, like, I don't know, man, we're getting to this state where Human Torch could be really good if his ultimate was good. I kind of feel the same way about Wanda, though, you know, like, how Wanda could be insane if her ultimate was better.
I'm not gonna lie, I think Wanda's ultimate is pretty bad. I mean, like, other than just maybe making it go faster and making her less loud, I think it's pretty balanced just because it literally insta-kills through everything.
Yeah.
And multiple people. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy. And
I mean,
Torch can two-shot to the head if you're close enough and you hit all your primary fires, which is just insane.
Yeah, it's just very dangerous for him to be there, especially without the Sue Storm team up. If he doesn't have the Sue team up, then he just falls over when that happens. And that can be tough, man. I don't know. The thing about who were we just talking about? Wanda's ult. The thing about Wanda's ult is that it's so easily countered by Emma Frost's projected barrier and the Sue Storm shield. Like, you can literally live through the entirety of Wanda's ult by standing behind Sue Storm's shield, which is nuts, you know, or like getting a Bruce Banner shield, or any of the, or the Magneto shield, right? As long as it's not broken, any shield will 100% nullify her ultimate. There's no, like, you ever play Magic the Gathering?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tie this into another game's game mechanics. So, in Magic the Gathering, do you know about trample and the trample mechanic?
Yep.
So, for those of us who don't know, trample in Magic is when you deal enough damage to kill a monster, and then the remaining damage that you would have dealt is dealt to your hit points because it tramples over the monster and continues to hit you from, like, the other side, basically, right? Like, if Wanda had something like that, where it reduced the damage that her ultimate dealt by the amount of shield health remaining, but you still took the rest of it if you were inside of the area, then I like, that would be fine, I think. But it's so easily countered by Doctor Strange holding up a shield, by Emma Frost throwing out the projected barrier, by literally any shield in the entire game, and then, like, it just instant denies the full value of the ultimate. I think if we added the trample mechanic to that, like, it broke your shield and it fucking ate you up behind the shield. Like, that would be insane, right? And then at that point, we could justify its duration being as long as it is right now. But it's, I just feel like she's so easily countered. And again, like, this is one of those characters that you can't have be super meta because it's a noob trap character. Like, it's made for people who are not good. But it's just, like, the ult is just so bad. Like, it's so fucking bad, dude. It's, like, comically bad in certain scenarios, you know?
Yeah.
Going back...
I do think, to be fair, I mean, every ult is counterable in the game to a certain extent, but hers is definitely a lot easier because majority of the characters in the game have shields that they can block, or you can just get away.
Yeah.
Hella, just get away.
Yep. And, like, destructible environments will also block her ultimate. Again, this goes back to the trample concept. If she blew through the wall and also blew you up behind the wall, like, that shit would be insane. You know, that would be really good.
Yeah, that would be valid.
And, like, if you consider how much damage does it take to break a wall, I don't know from a numerical standpoint how much that is, but, like, imagine it just reduced the damage you took from the ultimate by that much. Again, just like the shield theory, and then you still took the rest of the damage because you're still within the line of sight. Like, I don't know, man. I think that we have the freedom to be able to do something like that.
That would be a lot, make her a lot better than she is now. But again, like you said, can't make her too good because she is, like, the easiest character to play.
Yeah, and she is really fun, though. Man, I do really enjoy the character.
Yeah, she's pretty fun, especially with the Strange team up.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't know what hit them. You just jump their back. They're dead immediately.
Going to I want to discuss Rocket Raccoon real quick because I feel like Rocket's changes made him like maybe the best support in the entire game, but they nerfed Rocket's damage amplifier from 40% down to 25%, but the most overpowered ultimate in the entire game, Luna Snow, still gets the 40%. Bro, I am triggered by that. I am so angry about that. Can we fucking let Luna's ult not be everything all at once? Like, this is crazy. Like, you reduced Rocket, and yes, he's... again, I know he's like the best. He's like maybe the best support in the game. Maybe second best if you count Luna as the best. But like... But you removed the main value proposition of his ultimate, and she still has it? Like, what the fuck? Come on, bro.
All the nerves just bouncing off Luna. It's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, dude, it's the plot armor, you know? Like, she's the main character of Marvel Rivals.
Apparently.
She's fucking, she's the Batman of this series.
Yep.
She just never gets nerfed. Never, ever. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, at this point, it's been so long that we've been playing with the same Luna Snow that I would love to see the dev team just cunt punt her into the D tier for a little while. Like, just literally just hit her super hard and get her out of the meta for a while, you know? Like, reduce her ult down to 4 seconds. It'd be a pretty fast show, but still... Like, and I'm maybe exaggerating a little bit, but, like, I'm so tired of seeing her all the time. I'm so tired of her being the best. Like, she just never leaves the best of the best discussion. And we could take Doctor Strange down, you know, 8 tiers in terms of viability, but, you know, we better leave Luna Snow exactly the same. God forbid the K-pop star isn't as good as she was before.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is crazy to me.
That is... It's a pretty crazy concept to think that she hasn't got touched since the game released.
And, like, they increased... The biggest nerf that she had was her ult takes a little longer to charge. Like, that is... Like, what? Bro,
Which is still stupid, because that shit charges the fastest.
It's very fast. It's very fast. It's very forgiving. There is arguably a larger window to punish her without her ultimate now than there was before, but it's not so large that it feels like... Aw, man, thank God we have this, because now we can really deal with her. No, we still can't deal with her.
Yeah.
We still can't deal with her. That's part of the reason why I enjoy playing Iron Man so much. Is not because he's very good, because he really isn't, but, like, because I can kill her through her ult without needing a tank or somebody else to combo with me. As long as my aim is good and she doesn't move out of the way, I can kill her in her ultimate, and that finally I have something to do about this bitch, you know? Jesus Christ, we could finally do something.
Yeah, as well as Scarlet, but of course, you know, you got that whole dialogue that she gotta say before she actually gets on with it and pops the ult.
Yeah, and like, yes, Luna Snow can't use any of her abilities during her ultimate, and arguably that means it should be a more powerful ultimate because of that. Then increase the amount of healing that it does. You know, it doesn't need to last this long as the compensation.
Yep. Exactly.
Give me 1 second, because I'm gonna piss my pants, and then, if you're willing, I would like to play, like, 1 game, or maybe 2, depending on time, before I have to sign off for the day. Alright, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
You good.
Shit. Alright. Hannibal. What's good, man? It's good to see you. I'm sorry that I didn't respond until now. I saw you earlier, but I didn't get a word in edgewise there, so I just wanted to say hello. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. It's all good that you didn't see us live at first. I think I was like 5 minutes late or something like that starting the show, but I had to get things together, and then I realized right as I was about to start that I wanted to do the tier list today, so that meant that I had to mess around on different screens inside of OBS and shit like that to make sure that everything was pulled up and ready to roll. So, Hanny, we love you. Thanks for being here, dude. Tier, you ready to rock?
I'm ready, bro.
All right, let's do it.
Tier list was exactly what it sounds like. It was a list of the characters that I hate the fucking most.
Yeah, dude, me too. Me too. I'm gonna be filling today, so play whatever you want, and I'm gonna flex on to whatever the team needs.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna too, 'cause it's my first game on, so...
We got
can run healer.
We got Ricky McJiffy. I'm not
You
sure if
can
that's
play,
good or not. Oh shit, I could play
Wanda.
DPS. Oh fuck, you're right. I can play Wanda. Let's go. I'm gonna play Wanda. I'm locking in. Chat. We're going hardcore in the
Are
Scarlet
you gonna
Witchery.
be diving?
Am I gonna be diving?
Yeah, with Wanda, like their backline.
No, probably
Well, I'll
not.
switch to... Okay.
I try to stay near the team because I'm cognizant of not getting healed.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna switch to Cloak if you were gonna dive.
I'm afraid of not getting the heals when I need them. That shit scares me. As a
Man.
as a flying character, I never feel safe, no matter where I am. I'm like, all right, I have to put myself directly in front of these healers, otherwise they may not see me.
Exactly, I never trust my healers. Normally, I let my tanks do their thing and bitch at them if they fuck up too bad, but my healers, they never get trust. Ever. I would position myself near health pack.
3, 2, 1.
All right, here we go.
Do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Gonna mute my mic a little bit so that I can talk freely.
Walking in that shit. Call me Michael Jackin.
He's got my Doctor Strange skin that I love. I'm gonna go chase the Spider-Man a little bit. Peter, what's good, bro? No, come back, Peter. This is not good.
You gonna chase me the whole way back? Yeah, they are. Back at spawn with me. Who are they running? Dive. Everything.
They got a
dive.
hard dive comp, yep. Dive with an Emma.
Dive with an Emma. I don't like it.
But you know what they do have? This is our in here. They have no ability to hit these characters that are very mobile.
I got Scooter Boy on me.
Oh. Got you. Coming down. Whoa. Damage. Holy.
I'm watching that happen too. Two of you, I was shuffling back and forth.
I'm gonna get that Iron Fist off of our healer.
That's a good dive.
I think I need to back out a little bit here with that. There we go.
Go.
You better run, Venom.
I might have to pop it. Up.
There we go.
Fuck him up.
Oh yeah, baby. We are Venom. And then he got no value out of it? Get fucked.
That's better.
I'm dead here. Mantis was hard touching our tank there. She wouldn't stop her down.
Yeah, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do about that one. They finally came and got me.
They're gonna try to dive.
Fate isn't sealed yet.
How we looking on ults? Oh no, Strange. Let's try and follow up if we can.
Nice. We got a fist boy. On us.
I might die here. Ah, there we go.
Sorry, we're all back here fighting the thing. My ult's almost up again.
Cloak and dagger, no heal. Cloak and dagger, no life.
That's how it normally is.
I meant no escape, but yeah, I said heal, whatever. Spider-Man, let me show you this nifty trick real quick.
Gingerbread man. I got it. Back up here. Fuck her out.
Damn, Spider-Man came and got me. No way. Oh well. We still have our Emma Frost ult.
Don't mess with the amazing
I
Spider-Man.
did that of that? Okay, so Spider-Man is just the fastest motherfucker when he pops his ult all of a sudden.
Damn, both our supports are down. These tanks gotta use their ults a little bit faster. Nah, it doesn't matter though. Alright, we're good. We're going into the next round with that ult. Thank goodness.
Yeah, Luna's ult's broken, dude. I got the ult 2 times already in that short ass match.
Owning him.
It's too fast. It needs nerf. Not like it's a lot worse than I thought it was. I normally don't play Luna unless I'm warming aim. But that's stupid.
30 seconds.
She has no right being as good as she is.
2 ult pops first round, and it was like, how long was that? 5 minutes?
If even.
Felt super fucking fast.
I fucking love this ability, dude. Holy shit, that's so cool.
Oh wait, I gotta do this. Hold up.
The battle
That?
starts in 5,
There you go. I got my achievement.
2,
Boom.
1.
I'm gonna do 2 as well. There we go. Same spray.
Yep. Gotta do 2 sprays, and I get my little points for the battle pass. I always do the easy ones. The other ones will just come as I play.
Yeah, I never really spray. It's not really something I think about. Uh-oh.
Those Spider-Man would be so fucked. Those on hella.
See you later, Spider-Man.
Good? Oh, wait, come back. Come up here. Oh, not even low. Why does it light up so bright?
No. You stick around, Iron Fist. You think I'm done with you? You got another thing coming. 2 times.
I'm looking. I can't get you up there.
Spider-Man, what's the matter?
Yeah,
Thought we
this
were
man's
friends.
Just, like, confusing to me. I guess that. Just gatekeeping for strange. Fister's jumping on me. We got an AFK. That's fine. You just can't get over this.
Spider-Man's about to use ult.
I'm gonna pop
I'm
my
pretty
eye.
sure that's who, Loki just...
The amazing
Yeah.
Nope.
Nice.
Damn it, bro.
Rocket Raccoon is still back here. I'm pinging. Rocket Raccoon back there.
You need me.
They're gonna die, man. Whenever we go off.
No fucking way I got hit by that, dude. Whatever.
Okay. Right.
See you later, Spooder Man. Where you at, thing? No. I want you now. Yeah, that's right, us against the world. You better us against the world or else, bitch.
Can I freeze her out of the ult? That would be fun.
She's unCCable while doing the animation.
Oh, yeah, you told me that yesterday. Spider-Man about to come in. They switched to Moon Knight. I did a headshot last second, you got it.
Guys, come back!
Having fun, right?
I'm having fun. They're probably not, but I'm having a great time, dude.
Nah, give me the gingerbread man. Oh. Damage buff. Fuck him up. That's unfortunate. That was huge, nice. Frozen, bitch. Take stuff. Their claw gave up. Spider-Man's not good.
Okay, good game, everybody else. Jesus fuck, bro.
Oh my god, dude.
Bro.
28 assists, 13. They didn't even. Our Ely's got all more kills than them. That's a good first game on. That gives me hope for ranked today.
Yeah, that feels good, man.
But I hope.
Oh, what's up, babe?
There you are.
I do love this character, bro.
Oh my god, look at Mantis's heals, bro. What the fuck? Stop
Classic.
it.
Classic Mantis.
But Mantis
Their
is
Rocket
such a good
Raccoon.
healer.
Bro, how did their Rocket Raccoon only have 2,000 healing?
DPS only Rocket?
Yeah, he was their Strange and their Emma Frost, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel bad for that guy.
Me too. I do not envy him.
I don't know who was like the good one on their team that was just performing bad because of the team, but I feel bad for him.
Slim Gritty, maybe? I'm not sure.
Slim Gritty? Really? Is that somebody in there?
Yeah, his name is Slim Gritty.
Slim
He was
Gritty.
there.
That's funny.
Bucky/Loki. I don't know why he switched to I don't know why he switched to Bucky. Like, what did you hope to accomplish there? I guess the
I don't
ult.
know, but he got more damage than the rest of the fucking team.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Hannibal says, I just put together a bunk bed, bro. Sorry, I haven't been watching much. No, you're good, man. You're good. I do not envy your bunk bed assembly. That shit sucks. I just put a bed together over the weekend and fucking blow my brains out. That thing was obnoxious. Granted, our drill wasn't charged either, so I had to manually screw in the screws, and that part sucked worse. If the drill had been charged, it probably would have been fine. But, alright. One more, and then I gotta go, because we're gonna go bring our kid and her friend out to a painting class later in like 2 hours.
Painting class.
Yeah, they're gonna go paint by numbers or whatever. And apparently I'm going to paint too, so tomorrow I'll show you guys my stupid-ass painting.
Paint by numbers, what's that mean?
It's like you have a picture, different segments of it have little numbers on them, and then it tells you what color to paint those numbers, so that you can make the picture look correct.
Alright, that makes sense.
This guy's name is Jalot of Jays.
Jalot what?
His name is Jalot of Jays. I don't understand. Alright, with the Adam Warlock, it looks like we're gonna have to be support. Yeah. Yep, I'm gonna go Rocket. And then we're gonna be good.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go Luna, because we're gonna need a healer ult here.
Star says, we are not doing paint by numbers. I get it, I know.
Paint by numbers stream?
She says, yeah, we had to order a new battery for the drill. So, it works a lot better now that the new battery's here, but that shit sucked trying to put it together. Oh my god, I ordered my new graphics card last night, and I'm super pumped about it. It set us back $1,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, imagine spending $1,000 on a single computer part.
I can't imagine $1,000. Damn, dude.
Honey,
like
Tier said, I can't imagine $1,000.
It's like 90% of my PC, bro. $1,000. It's crazy.
That's a lot, right? Yeah, I thought so.
That's a lot. That shit better be perfect.
It is the second best graphics card that you can buy right now. But my previous one I bought for like $750 like 5-6 years ago, so been a little while.
Really? Only the second one you could spec the extra band to get the first best one?
I mean, it would have been like $600 more for a decent upgrade, but not so much that I felt like it was necessary. It's like a $1,500 card is like the most expensive one right now. And like that's okay. I don't really need it though. Beyond the first one anyway. Thing I was healing you, you just took too much damage, brother.
Oh my god. Easy, both are healers, this is already good. I mean, at least they're trying, I guess, in their own little way. Watch Hell is gonna peek you and everything.
Shoot the Squirrel Stampede, please. Everybody shoot it. Thank you.
Might be what we needed.
That's a team wipe, baby. And that's a team wipe. Let's get 3 on payload so we push it as fast as we can. Tanks can go forward.
We just needed that all. Be still.
Tanks, I'm gonna roll with you since I have more mobility.
10-4?
Yeah, that's
What is he saying?
Roger. He's saying yes. He's agreeing.
Oh. Motherfucker, I thought he was saying he had 10 kills and 4 deaths.
I thought that too, but then I checked the scoreboard and I realized.
I'm the back up here.
Our Luna ult just charged, so we'll use it when we come back. We're gonna let them use everything, and we're just gonna back out.
Here we go.
This is no time to go solo. Some uninvited guests.
Yeah, let's keep peeking that by yourself. These are the Emma Frost players.
Alright, uh-oh. Tira, I'm ready for you to ult. Everybody push, push, push.
Fucking jackass. You can still one-shot too, yo. Yo, what are they?
Everybody push.
It's just
To the
not
cart.
It's not a good idea. It's a very bad idea. Mantis is one, Mantis is... I mean, yeah, it's Mantis.
Stand on the cart to avoid the Squirrel Stampede. It can't hit you on the cart.
As soon as I try to come back, I'm gonna hit with it.
That's the checkpoint, good stuff.
Bro's running away from the heals. Is he stupid or stupid?
All good, let's regroup.
No way our thing just ran straight into them as one shot. What was he thinking? What was he thinking? Is he playing on controller? Because I'm actually, like, convinced he's a console player.
He was thinking, how can I take as much damage as quickly as possible?
Like, yeah, exactly. Maybe he has a challenge. You need to take, like, 75,000 damage. We can still try out of this.
I don't know what Emma Frost thought she was gonna do there.
Emma, you think he'll, I just got her so fucking low with this head. Oh, okay, so I see now. This doesn't have any bullet drop on it. That helps a lot. Alright, you're out.
Huge, huge, huge. Alright, Squirrel Girl, Hella, can you guys get on payload with the Luna? And I'm gonna go forward.
Look at him, bro. What am I doing? Oh my
Again,
God.
you can stand on top of the payload to avoid the Squirrel Stampede.
Yeah.
We are undefeatable.
Thing, I'm trying to heal you, but we got the checkpoint, so you're good.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's all right. He kept them back.
Very bad.
He kept them from contesting, which is arguably better than living, I think, at that moment. Because he's just going to respawn right next to us anyway.
Damn, they just want you. I'm standing back here in the open and they're only looking at the little raccoon guy.
I am ready to put
Dr.
on a
Raccoon.
show.
Okay. I'll let that up.
Emma, I'm trying to heal you. Hella, I'm trying to heal you.
Yeah.
I rezzed Emma, so we're good. Don't have to worry about not having her. Damn. Oh, okay, I got one hit. I got one hit. You're down one support.
Yeah.
Down both support.
Squirrely. Try to get to the point. I'm starting, like, I'm actually convinced that shit, like, looks for people. Because it could just be going one way, bounce off a wall, and do a full 360 and kill us.
It does homing after the first bounce.
That makes sense.
So if you use it immediately into a wall, it will homing immediately. Not exactly where I wanted that to go, but as long as they're not down there, I guess it doesn't matter. Our ult is better than theirs. Fuck them up.
I got his ass.
I was stunned, Thing. I'm sorry I couldn't save you.
I am ready to put on a show.
Might die to this. You're down one support.
Things are gonna be different this time. You're welcome.
And things running up balls out again like a dumbass. My god.
Thing, I'm sorry. I had only just gotten back. Fuck. Damn, bro. This is gonna be tough.
I died.
You're down both heals? Down both heals.
Rockets launching again.
We got time. Let's let them use their ults. We're gonna gather all of ours, and then we're gonna overwhelm them.
You're welcome. This is a nice spot.
Only 60 seconds left.
Remember to save your ults. We're gonna have a bunch coming online. We're gonna let them use everything so they think they got us.
We are undisputable.
All right, here we go. This is the rocket ult coming out. Rocket ult's down. You can ult when you're ready, Tyr. Good game, fam. It was a pleasure.
That was, stupid. Really stupid.
I mean, we just win, bro. We just win. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, that was just so stupid, dude. Wow, my brain's like fucking itself up trying to think of what the thing was thinking there.
I mean, he was
He
tanking.
had to have had a challenge, right? I mean, that's for fucking sure. Yeah, he was tanking.
He wasn't afraid, and that's the important thing, right?
Yeah, he definitely was tanking.
He was in there.
Yep. I mean, that's good, I guess.
Felt good. Felt
Just
good.
walked in constantly.
So Tyr, I'm gonna be on later tonight if you want to do some more running it down here. I enjoyed when we got to play together last night, so hopefully we get to do that again more often. You know, not necessarily always on stream.
Yeah, just hit me up on Discord.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna
Let
shoot
me
you a
know.
friend request right now. Oh, you sent me a friend
Gotcha.
request. All right, accepted.
Yep.
And then there we go. And then that way, because I gotta jump off here, because our food is about to be ready. And like I said, we got an hour and 45 minutes till we gotta be there for our painting thing. So
What's the food though?
we're having salmon with broccoli and rice today. So Star made a
Oh,
full-on
okay.
meal. A lot better than egg sandwiches, in my opinion. But
I don't know. Egg sandwiches are pretty good, man.
I mean, dude, I eat them most days.
I had
So
egg sandwich yesterday. After you said that, I literally had egg sandwich yesterday.
I mean, it's the food that makes me feel good after I eat it. So, like, because I only eat the one time, I try and keep my calories super low, and then when I wake up the next morning, I feel thinner than I did the day before, or at the very least, I feel thin, you know? And so, like, the egg sandwich lets me eat what I feel like is a good-sized meal, and then at the end of it, the next morning when I wake up, I feel like I'm still skinnier than yesterday, which is good.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
happen if I have pizza or something like that. I wake up, I feel bloated.
Yeah.
So anyway, for those of you who are just joining us, don't forget to rewind the stream and go watch the Season 1 tier list, Season 2 tier list even, that was at the beginning. We will be cutting that and putting it into a video for the channel here later on tonight. So if you don't want to rewind the stream and watch it there, you can watch it cut up, and that'll be a good way to do that. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out. Thank you to Tyr for being here, as always, and joining us in the chat in the Discord. Thank you to Mike for coming and chilling with us as well. Thank you to Hannibal for coming out. Thank you to Snark for coming and chilling with us in the Discord discussing the Season 2 stuff. Thank you to Stargazer. You know I love you. Thank you to the Lurkers. I see you and appreciate you guys. Tyr, I hope you have an awesome rest of your night. I'll see you later on. For everybody else who is here, have a great rest of your day. I'll be here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Moonchild of Dude No Way, and I'll see you in the next stream. Take care.